No, you ate too much this week. No, you drank too much this week. No, you stayed up too many nights this week past 2:30 a.m. You did all those things. I didn't do them. I ate a reasonable amount. I'm now a teetotaler, and I went to bed at 8 p.m. every day. None of that's true. I feel like shit. Hi, Lotus.
Hi, you're not the good Christian child you just led me to believe.
No, I'm not. Really not. It's been a more festive Thanksgiving week than I think I anticipated. And I also did a lot of driving today, which we talked about before we hit the record button.
Terrible.
And it's just like I just don't like. What if we had a train?
What if we
What if
had
we had a train?
a train? Some places have trains here, and the trains kind of suck.
Yeah, they do.
They're doing what they can, but the trains do suck.
They pretty much suck everywhere. Yeah. Hey, welcome to the VGV's podcast. This is episode 78. I'm John Warren. With me is my forever co-host, Lotus. Hello.
Hello.
Boy, I just flew in from Arkansas. Boy, my arm's tired. I don't know. Did you eat anything good this week? I know it doesn't. I'm not even asking about that. I'm just like, did you eat anything good? Just anything. Not even a Thanksgiving themed question. I'm just, did you eat anything good?
I tried my best to stay at home. I will say I had
Great.
a Sprouts mini sub sandwich because I was really craving a sub sandwich. One thing people from other places might not appreciate, we don't really do that down here. Sub sandwiches are not a thing. There's a few chains like Subway and Jersey Mike's, and their sandwiches are fine. But like subs is a thing, not really a deal. So I just really wanted one. I saw a little Italian BMT. I said, okay.
When you come up here, when we presumably go to a Rangers game or something at some point, I will take you to the Great Outdoors. It is a Dallas staple.
Put me down.
Of submarine.
Take me to a nice farm in upstate Texas.
All right, Lotus, keep going.
Just keep walking.
Past the tree with the rope tied around it. Just a little bit further. No, the Great Outdoors is it's a good sub shop. It's been here since like 1971 or something like that. And it's good. I will tell you, the thing that I get there is disgusting sounding. But they've got like normal subs too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's always a gimmick.
Yeah, and it's called the Invention. And it's just like
That's a good name.
It's just like my mom was like, I always get the Invention, and she read me the ingredients. I was like, Mom, that's fucking disgusting. When I was like 10 years old, and then I got one, and I was like, oh shit, this is pretty fucking good. It's ham, okay. It's mushrooms, okay.
Okay.
It's provolone and cream cheese.
So it's like a patty melt?
It's just a sub. It's on a sub. It's all squished in there.
In terms of construction, because I think that's patty melt stuff.
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of patty melt. Well, like not hamburger is like that's a patty melt.
Right.
This is ham, just straight up ham, and
interesting.
And it's good. They have your Italian. They have like whatever. They have like different grinders. They have a meatball. That's all good. I've had all that stuff. It's very delicious. But I'll eat the pervert sandwich every time. And it's pretty good, but I'll take you there. It's pretty good. Yeah, they don't really do subs though. I mean, it's not really. We don't have a culture here for that.
No, we've collectively decided that there's not enough flavor in them, we just don't do it.
Yeah.
Where's the barbecue? Where's the pulled pork? This isn't a sandwich.
Where's the pulled pork? Yeah, no. I had an egg salad sando from 7-Eleven today. That was pretty good. Because the one by my house is one that does like the Japanese pilot stuff. Like they go, like, oh, we'll put the Japanese stuff that y'all TikTok about. We'll put those on the shelves. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You know.
Wetness level 1 to 5.
No, it's like genuinely they do a pretty bang up job. It's like it is a solid, not wet Kewpie mayo dressing with mustard, and egg, and sandwiched between two pretty sturdy slices of milk bread, and they don't get too soggy.
Okay, because John,
I'm kind of shocked.
in my vlog watching,
Yes.
among the Korean and Japanese, and also Korean/Japanese inspired American vlogs, there is a trend of making a similar sandwich at home that is packed tight and wet. To the
It's
point,
wet.
John, because part of the experience is that they do the whole rigmarole of wrapping it in like parchment paper and
Sure.
then cutting it in half.
Slicing it, right.
So they shove it full of shit because it's packed so tight it won't fall apart, and I can't stand it. They look so gross.
I hate that.
Or it's just like it's just like 90% lettuce. That's the other option.
That's disgusting.
So
That's
I'll be watching
disgusting.
my beautiful aesthetic vlog that I finally find where someone's not talking the whole time, and then this is how I'm repaid, with a 90% egg to bread ratio.
There's so much egg in this one. Yeah, it's really a deeply impressive sandwich from
That's good.
because it's like it's a normal amount of food. It's a normal amount of food and it's not wet. And I'm like, congrats. I really can't believe I can't believe you've done this.
Positive.
But positive. It hit me in the side of the face with flavor, and I was happy for it. Yeah, so that's it was good. It was good. I was happy with it. So we both had two good sandwiches this week.
Nice.
That's amazing. Video games. Listen, it's Thanksgiving week. Like, not a ton happened,
Yeah.
but one thing did happen, and
One thing did happen that captured
It's
everyone's
like-
attention.
it's pretty interesting.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Horses, which is an upcoming indie game from Santa Ragione. Thank you. Thank you for giving me an
I'm
excuse
glad
to
you
say
could
that.
try, because at least for me, have I told this story before?
I don't know.
My mom is a native English and Spanish speaker.
Okay.
So when she went to high school, in order to get her, like graduate high school with honors or like whatever the heck it's called in high school, she had to take a language class. She was not allowed to take Spanish because she was already fluent. So she just took Italian, but she was too busy with all of her other classes. So she would just speak Spanish in an Italian accent.
Yeah.
Got
That's
a good B
awesome.
minus.
That's awesome.
A
That's
lot
great.
of this. For me, it's the opposite, where every time I try to read anything Italian, it just comes out Spanish. Like I could only do it with a Spanish
Santa
accent.
Ragione.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
it's best
great.
that you read it.
But they made Saturnalia, and they have an upcoming game called Horses. And Steam, in their infinite wisdom, have decided not to sell the game. We'll get into why in a second. But Santa Ragione is saying that they're going to have to cease operations, according to this piece from Rock Paper Shotgun earlier this week. Because of the refusal to carry the game on Steam. It is on other platforms, so we'll get into that as well. But yeah, interesting. So it's going to be on Epic. It's going to be on GOG. It's going to be on itch. They say there are aspects of the story that we don't know for sure. So we are going to
Yes.
we're going to be saying they say, we found, there's a lot of stuff that I want to be clear, not
Yeah.
super definitive. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's important.
And that's
They
because
say- go ahead.
I think a lot of the people reporting on this are not, in my opinion, doing their due diligence and not asking
I
kind of
agree.
any questions. And
Yeah.
I think it's this thing where people recognize like the pretty definitive things are, it seems to be that this game is being censored for mistaken
Yes.
sexual content, which happens a lot on Steam. Steam can be very prudish. That is affecting their bottom line. We feel bad about that. Yeah. But then I think people are not going
Are not
any
asking
deeper
a
than
follow-up.
that instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
The dev is basically saying that the Steam saw an unfinished version of the game where it was depicted that a child gets a piggyback ride from one of the horses in the game, and I don't need to explain anything else. No, so
No,
the
that's
horse
disgusting right off the bat. Don't you understand? Take that shit
disgusting.
off.
Take that shit out of here. Okay, listen. The horses in this game are like naked adult slaves in horse masks. Okay. So it is a child getting a piggyback ride from one of these characters, and it was flagged by Valve. They say for as being sexual conduct involving a minor, which it's not. Is it provocative? Sure, but
Yep.
those are not the same thing.
Critically.
Critically, those are not the same thing. And so on the eve of this game's release, the dev has basically taken to the internet to say, hey, this is going to be out on Steam. They're not giving us an explanation why, really. They're not really talking to us past that initial rejection.
Right. Crucially,
Yeah,
they said it was for as being sexual conduct involving a minor. They didn't say it's because of this scene. They're just like,
right.
well, I guess it has to be this one. We don't know what
Yes.
else it could be. And they've said that they took it out. They didn't even like the scene to begin with. It was just a rushed thing. And they even told Steam, like, we changed it and we can change more.
Yeah.
However, it was an instant ban. So, like, there's not, you can't be like, well, we'll change it because Steam had
Yeah.
already made a final
They had made
decision.
up a they had made up their mind. Again, can't stress this enough. This was in June 2023 when they received this automated review statement, quote unquote. I'll go,
Which,
which
you
what?
read it first. You read it first.
Okay, I'm gonna read it for posterity.
Yes. It's
Here's the
important to
entire
read
thing.
it.
After review, we will not be able to ship your game Horses on Steam. While we strive to ship most titles submitted to us, we found that this title features themes, imagery, or descriptions that we won't distribute. Regardless of a developer's intentions with their product, we will not distribute content that appears, in our judgment, to depict sexual conduct involving a minor. While every product submitted is unique, if your product features this representation, even in a subtle way that could be defined as a gray area, okay, it will be rejected by Steam. For instance, setting your game in a high school, but declaring your characters are of legal age would fall into that category and be banned. This app has been banned and cannot be reused. Resubmissions of this app, even with modifications, will not be accepted.
What does automated mean?
Automated is really interesting because
This
this is
isn't.
this is awfully specific for being something that is automated.
Yes, I do not think that this is an automated
No,
review.
I
I don't
I
think
don't
it was
either.
automatic. I don't know why they said that because I think they say that more than once in their FAQ. Horses.wtf / ban from Steam in camel case.
Yes,
Yeah, that's odd. Like that's one of
it's
many things that
odd.
stuck out as odd to me, and I was like, why did they say that? Because that's just
Yeah,
kind of blatantly not true. They reproduced the text in quotation marks, so presumably verbatim, and it's like, well, that's not automated.
that's not what that means.
That's not what that means.
That's not what that means. And yeah, I don't know if there's I actually don't know like I don't know the answer to this question. Is there a potential language barrier for some of
It
this
could
stuff?
be, but
It
even
could be.
then, I think that there are other issues on the FAQ that point to it not being a language barrier.
Agreed.
The FAQ
Yes.
at times resembles something that Argo 2 would write, in the sense that large portions of it are a lot more about, I guess, what you would call like politicking or political
Yes.
posturing than anything resembling questions that would actually be asked of the studio regarding this situation. It seems more that they are trying to make their case politically than actually just kind of trying to like lay out the facts of what happened. And I think automated review is one of those things. I think they refer to Steam as a de facto monopoly, like
Yeah.
quote unquote, at least 2 times, maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It comes up often
Yeah.
in the things that they've said about this.
Yeah. Yeah, the FAQ is a big one. We'll actually link it on the show notes if you want to go see it. But if we'll just go to horses.wtf, you'll be able to see that. Yeah, the FAQ is charitably not a list of questions that people are asking them,
A handful of them are.
which
There's
is
like
a handful
3 or
of them
4
are.
that are.
But
But
like
there's like 15.
whenever I do see an FAQ and it's just clearly kind of like either a feature list or just kind of like a posturing document, it's like I don't think you need to put that in. I don't think you need to nest that in your FAQ.
Yeah.
That's just like that's very nitpicky of me, but that's how I feel about it. Okay, so by the way, some people I've seen a couple people maybe mix up, conflate some of the stuff happening. This has nothing to do with the payment processor stuff. This is kind of its own thing. Again, this
2
happened
years
in
ago.
June of 2023, we believe, or at least in 2023, and that's a long time ago. So this predated all of that more recent stuff. Lotus, I have a question for you. Let's say you run a game studio, okay?
Terrible idea, but I'll try. I'll do my
Terrible
best.
idea. You have invested, let's say, $50,000 into the development of your next game.
A lot of money. I've gotten investment.
Yeah.
I've done one
And
thing right, at least.
And let's say tomorrow you get a letter from Steam that says they're not gonna release your game under any circumstances. Okay. Do you okay, invest more money in that project, even though you know you will not recoup that money unless it is sold through Steam? Do you sit on that information for multiple years and then wait until the eve of the release to basically tell people? Do you cancel development and maybe go in a different direction? Just Lotus, what would you do in that scenario? Because I do think this is part of the story that no one is really talking about that is kind of strange to me.
Yes, this is also what I wanted to bring up because I was
Okay.
talking about this with a friend. And to be so clear, with that amount of money on the line, and also we don't know what their first investments really look like. Like, do they have to pay back their investors? Are they talking about personal friends? Are they talking about investing their own money? They're vague
Yeah.
about it, and I mean they
They're
should be.
vague
That's
about
like
it. And
private
that's okay.
financial
Yeah.
information.
Yes.
But yeah, I was talking about it with a friend who was kind of like, isn't that it's pretty fucked up that they didn't mention this? Like, it's a really dumb idea. And I was like, well, with that amount of money, I don't think that it's entirely ethically clear. However, sitting on that information for 2 years in order to make a more effective marketing campaign is the financially correct decision to make, in my opinion, which is
Yeah.
what they did.
Which is
And
what
yeah, that's the part that feels crazy is that no one really seems to be talking about how transparently this is a marketing campaign.
Yes.
They have known about this for 2 years, once more. And there is some leniency in the sense that while they were, so the plan is do a little bit of your own investing, complete the game about halfway, put the game out on a circuit, right? And try, put a demo out, yada, yada, and then try to get a publisher from there.
Right.
Get more funding from that, a little bit more security. Great. That's how a lot of things work.
Yeah.
So they were hoping for a time, even though they knew that it was banned, that maybe they would be able to find a publisher who was okay with that, or more likely find a publisher who had better connections than them and
Right.
can get it unbanned. Even then, 2 years is a really long time to not say anything anywhere to anyone,
Yeah.
and then to show up a week before your release. I mean, the game comes out like a couple days from us recording
From
this.
us recording. Yeah.
And yeah, and then there's other stuff like a friend of mine is also in the Discord, and I was like, hey, have they posted anything in there? Because they have their website,
Yep.
but I haven't seen anything there. They don't use their Twitter. It seems that GameDeveloper.com posted the news before they did, which means that a presser went out.
Yes.
They also simultaneously uploaded a new press kit and a new launch trailer to that press kit. So, it just feels awkward that no one is kind of mentioning this. It does feel like a dereliction of duty to not be like, hello. Yeah, so they knew about this the whole time. This is a marketing beat. I feel for them. I think it's the smart thing to do. But that doesn't mean that it's, not weird.
Yeah. yeah, and again,
Those things
totally,
can all be true at the same time.
like that's the thing is that all of these things I think are kind of true simultaneously. I think this dev made an odd decision to continue to trudge ahead without saying anything. I think it's odd that Steam has these kind of draconian rules. By the way, they did offer a statement to press that were asking about this, and I will also read that. Steam actually did make a statement, which
Still pretty vague, but there are a couple
pretty
parts of
vague,
it
but
that
I would say
kind of contradict.
kind of contradicts Santa Regione's story. So they said we reviewed the game back in 2023. At that time, the developer indicated with their release date in Steamworks that they plan to release a few months later. Based on content in the store page, we told the developer we would need to review the build itself. This happens sometimes if content on the store page causes concern that the game itself might not fall within our guidelines. After our team played through the build and reviewed the content, we gave the developer feedback about why we couldn't ship the game on Steam, consistent with our onboarding rules and guidelines. A short while later, the developer asked us to reconsider the review, and our internal content review team discussed that extensively and communicated to the developer that our decision that we were start
One
that
more
one
time.
more time. A short while later, the developer asked us to reconsider the review, and our internal content review team discussed that extensively and communicated to the developer our final decision that we were not going to ship the game on Steam. Now, I think the crucial detail here that I don't know that we're going to get from anyone is when Steam went back to them and said the first time, we're not going to publish this game. And then they had an opportunity to go, hey, by the way, that's an unfinished build, and we marked it as being to be released in the next few months as a placeholder because we really don't know when it's going to be. So if y'all have an issue with something specific, we will be able to do something about it. And then that second piece of feedback came through that said, this is final. I don't know if they ever made that comment. And if they were basically
I
saying,
think they
well,
did.
they probably did. But if it is just as Steam says that they reviewed it once, all Santa Regione said is, oh, please reconsider, and then they said, no, it's final, then, that's just a draconian, shitty, terrible decision that Steam has made. But it is still, well, it's a terrible decision either way, but it's just, that's one of those key pieces of information that I don't think we have. What a weird story.
Yeah, for me,
I don't know.
the key point is like that they submitted this and said that it was going to. They put a release window of relative nearness
Like soon, yeah.
when the game was over 2 years
Not
away.
close.
And
Yeah.
if they didn't know, sure, but that is a strange I think, regardless, they made multiple mistakes in the submission of this. I think even if it's a pre-release and it was super rushed and whatever, if you were like, yeah, we're going to put a little girl in it, someone should have just said, no, we're fucking not
Right.
for the pre-release build,
Yeah,
not for
right.
the first
Yeah,
thing we
yeah.
showed to Steam.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty tremendous lesson, I guess, is like, I think if you're still making provocative, interesting art, if your first line of defense are capitalists deciding whether your thing can go up on the thing, like, I don't know, maybe don't start with that.
Yeah, the last line of their FAQ for one question that is definitively not real that they just wanted to put in there to answer. What
Yes.
exactly is Steam policy on mature content? Something that no one would ask them. The last line is, this double standard suggests Steam does not treat games as art on par with film. Yeah. No fucking shit. Are you new here? I'm so sorry. But the idea that Epic and then obviously Itch and GOG are going to put it out totally. Yeah, I understand that because they also have very different standards, and also because they have so many fewer games coming out on their platforms. Well, not with Itch, but Itch doesn't moderate at all. The other two, it's much easier for them to have a more hands-on and less intense censorship view.
Yeah.
I think those would probably even maybe be okay with that scene being
Yeah.
in there and not just immediately flag it. Even if they did, I have to believe that they might at least listen.
Yeah.
You know that Steam won't do that. Like,
No.
just it's not good,
No, they
but
won't.
it's kind of difficult to watch them postulate on
Yeah.
the comings and goings of the industry when they did something that, simply put, is stupid.
Yes.
It was a bad decision. There were like 3 bad decisions in a row, and they got burned for it, and they got burned for it pretty bad.
Yeah.
But like, they did make the 3 bad decisions in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, to me, this is like kind of the equivalent. I don't know. When I was learning how to drive, I'd get really aggravated with people who would slam on their brakes in front of me for no reason. And so as a way to somehow cosmically punish them for doing something I thought was stupid, I would brake late and brake right up next to their ass and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And my mom, when she was teaching me how to drive, was like, why did you do that? I was like, well, I don't know why they braked. And she was like, yeah, but they did, honey. They did brake. And you needed to just stop and like be normal. To me, like, this is kind of like Steam and Santa Ragione doing that to
Brake
each other
checking
just
each other.
over 2 years. They're just like one of y'all had to just make a mature, reasoned, clear-headed decision here to be like, okay, hold on a second. Let's reset the table here and like have a real conversation about this instead of what appears to have happened, which is just kind of like a number of, I would say, questionable choices just made one after the other. I want to also be, again, very clear. I feel like we've made it clear, but I don't know if you've really, listener, internalized it. This game should be released on Steam. Like, it should be there, okay? Like, a dev can make decisions that I think are silly, and I think they could probably be shooting themselves in the foot a little bit, and it does not at all mean that I think their game should be censored because they made some silly decisions. That's fucking crazy. So, like, yeah. A footnote on this is that, GOG is kind of doing their own little mini press tour saying, hey, we're like really proud to sell this game. And of course, people have pointed out that they fucking banned Devotion, the Taiwanese game that
More than once? Or was that only with
they
the...
they basically said that they were gonna do it, and then this is the best
they
part.
didn't do the
They were
initial
gonna
one
do it,
once.
and then they were like, no, actually, we're not gonna release it after quote receiving many messages from gamers, which is
That's right.
Really,
I forgot
really,
that was
really
the
funny.
exact verbiage.
That's the exact verbiage.
No one involved with Santa Ragione is Chinese, so I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's
fine.
What a weird story, huh?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird.
I hope this goes in a marketing book. I mean, listen, maybe this does really well for them. Maybe it's like now we're drummed up enough that
I think it's going to do better than it was going to originally.
Yeah,
frankly.
I mean, they said that Saturnalia did not sell well enough for them to really invest a lot without going out and getting outside investors. So like maybe this does better than that, and they're able to be okay. Anyway,
only $5, which feels crazy.
It's only $5.
That feels like another crazy business decision to me.
Listen, they're doing it for the art.
I get it.
On par with film, I'll play it.
Yeah.
I'll play it.
I have been looking forward to it. I was
Yeah.
surprised to see this news. Although it does make sense because mysteriously at some points in time my Steam wishlist will get a little smaller, and I don't know why.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know why either, but I've noticed that too. Isn't that weird?
Could be anything. Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. Crazy. Listen, and more layoff news. We've had so many this year. Splash Damage out in Bromley, UK. They were purchased by an unnamed private equity firm back in September, and it was previously owned by Tencent, who is divested from the studio. They have entered into consultation, which is basically the stage before you hit the redundancy slash layoff stage in the UK that you have to go through. So splash damage will be, undergoing some major changes and redundancies and all that stuff. And that's tough. This is yet another, I think, very rich entry into the idea that Tencent, alongside Sony and some other major players in the games industry, are divesting from a lot of Western studios and game makers.
Yeah, Splash Damage in particular is like one of the bigger and like kind of more UK story developers. These are the
Yeah.
Brink people. For all my fellow Brink fans, all 12 of
Yeah,
us, there's
let's
dozens of us.
go. It's Brink time.
And it's like never model anything after the United States, obviously.
Yeah.
We have the big game industry because we have like VC and a lot of money to both
Yes.
spend on purchasing games and producing the games. So all the countries that are not us and not Japan are generally like their governments are trying to work to attract local talent and produce local games. Australia and New Zealand are doing this, and Canada is doing this to a large extent. The UK and Ireland mostly seemed interested in
Yeah.
courting foreign companies to set up there, and now none of it's working,
No.
and everyone is leaving. Especially because the region is not particularly, I think, stable in regards to like its political dealings with video games. Its funds aren't even particularly stable. Like the government-backed video game funds changed like just recently. Not that they're the biggest changes in the world, but they change like every year. So that
It's
sucks.
wild. It sucks a lot. It sucks a lot. But Tencent in particular has continued to divest from a lot of their smaller satellites because, I mean, very frankly, they don't know what to do with the small ones that aren't making like super good games all the time. All their investments are, I think, perfectly capable of doing those things, but they tend to go big into the studios that are already doing major stuff, your Riots, your Epics, and then they'll get these smaller studios and frankly have no idea. They don't have their finger on the pulse of Western tastes at all, which is kind of shocking because they've never developed that.
And they've had a lot of time and a lot
they've
of
had a
money
lot
to
of
do
time
so,
to,
and yet
to
they still
develop that.
are completely clueless.
They very desperately want to, in my view, this is an opinion, very desperately want to remake aspects of Western game dev tastes in the image of the stuff that is done well in their home country, but the player bases are totally different. Their habits are totally different. Their expectations, their vertical integration is totally different, and they've never really adjusted. Knowing those things are super different. And it's shocking to see them continue to flail at stuff like this. Coatsink is also a UK company. They're owned by Thunderful. They're also restructuring and will be losing about 50 to 60 positions, which is roughly half the studio, which is also terrible.
Yeah, I think Atari just bought Thunderful.
I believe
I shouldn't
that's
say
true.
just. They bought Thunderful at some
Well,
point this year.
they bought it. They bought a majority stake in it. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, 82%. 82% of the business, which is wild. Because 82% of the business was purchased for $5.3 million.
Thunderful's not a large.
They're not, but that's still...
But it does seem quite small.
shockingly low.
It's because they haven't been doing very good business.
They haven't, for sure. That's a big... Yeah, you know what, folks? I had not seen that line before.
You hadn't?
I hadn't. I'm telling you, if you have some sort of poll or not a poll, a pool at work for just kind of games publishers, would not go all in on Thunderful because
No.
that is an emergency. That's an emergency investment that
To be fair, they got an emergency
you've
price
got.
tag.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's big time. 82% of business for $5 million. Jeez Louise.
Now this pisses me off. Atari bought 333,334 shares.
I
Fuck you.
know. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
You think you're not Expedition 33? And there's 33 developers?
C'est three developers. Yeah. Anyway, UK games industry is in a fucking free fall, and it stinks. I know a lot of even like big and small companies there are
Historically important.
historically important ones have had just a rotten year. Yeah, it just stinks. It sucks. But you know what? Let's talk about some other little guys. Nintendo.
Just
Little
some
guys named
out
Nintendo.
there.
Some little guys. They have acquired a set of shares in Namco. I knew I was going to do that. I knew I was going to do that. In Bandai Namco.
When writing this, I almost wrote
Singapore.
Bamco many times because I just think of them as Bamco.
Bamco. Yeah, the studio Singapore, Bandai Namco. They help Nintendo develop a lot of their projects already, and Nintendo has just basically decided to make that more of a major acquisition, getting 80% of those shares, which will finalize on April 1st, 2026.
Yeah, and like Bandai Namco at large co-devs a lot of Nintendo games. I mean, I think famously Kirby Air Riders, maybe everything that Sora Limited does from now on, Kirby Air Riders, and then also SSBU were both co-dev by capital B, capital N, Bandai Namco, as opposed to a subsidiary. This is their Singapore studio, and so like we can just say it. No matter how many titles they're credited on, number one, this is a South Asian studio. Number two, it's mostly an art studio. And number three, they're working on Japanese games. So they're probably not actually credited on most of what they do.
Probably not.
And there's probably a lot of, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they be working on everything and just aren't mentioned because they're a co-dev studio from Singapore.
Yeah. And if you're curious about like, okay, well, it's only 80% of the the shares in the company. What does that mean for kind of the independence of the studio? It means it's dead because it is actually going to become a full subsidiary of Nintendo and will basically be renamed as Nintendo Studios Singapore. So yeah, like no, there is no more Bandai Namco Singapore studio as of April 1st, 2026. So. Salud.
Farewell.
Goodbye. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I mean, it's just because it is an art studio. I do think it kind of continues. I agree with you here in your notes that it's like the continued Disneyfication of Nintendo, which Nikki was here to discuss that with us because it's definitely something they pointed out a bunch of times.
But that and them trying to kind of spread into South Asia a little more. Like they very obviously, like a lot of other devs, but I think Nintendo more so than other people see it as like a big emerging market that they can get their hands in and on.
Yeah, no, totally. Which, it's it's good, good for them. Hey,
It's
good
probably
work
a
if you
smart.
can get it.
It's probably smart.
Probably smart. They got a lot of stuff going on. I wanted to throw this little piece in there about DRAM. DRAM, if you were in the market for like a DDR5 RAM set, then boy, oh boy, you're not looking at anything reasonably priced at this point. A 64 gigabyte of DRAM at the moment is going to run you about the same cost as a PlayStation 5. It's about $50 less than a PS5 Pro. This is because of a global shortage of the chips needed to produce this kind of stuff. So it's affecting SSD drives as well as DDR5 RAM. Some analysts believe that you really won't see like good prices for this kind of RAM again until 2027. It's not abnormal for RAM or like any computer part to kind of go through these like fluctuations and ups and downs, but
But this
this
is so
this is
much.
very, very, very steep, very
And
steep.
also, RAM in particular is like not usually the thing that this happens
No,
to. Like, it feels like no matter what kind of RAM you had, it feels like for the past 10, 15 years, you
you
could
could
get
always get RAM.
32 for like $50.
Like you could always get RAM. Like
Yeah.
that was
And it was
when I
never going to be the problem in your build.
no, like when I built my machine in 2020, like that was the thing I was worried about the least. And whenever I had to make upgrades or anything like that, like that's just been a no-brainer. Storage and RAM and things like that have historically, at least recently, just kind of stayed at a level that is super affordable. And now this is a fairly sudden and drastic increase in that market. So yeah, if you were planning on like building a computer in after Christmas, which is essentially what I did, I bought myself the Christmas present of a ton of computer parts in 2020 and built it right before everyone got sick. And yeah, if that's your plan this year, it just got a lot more expensive unless you've already paid for that stuff. So crazy. Too bad. Trump take RAM.
The tariffs.
The
Have I told you that
tariffs.
this is the echolalia in my household for the past several months is
No, really?
the
The tar-
tariffs. But the gasp is really important. It's not just
That's
the
really
tariffs
important. Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
a really gentle hand on the shoulder. The tariffs.
That's really good.
Girl, the tariffs.
It's really good.
About
Yeah.
like hamburgers.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, that's perfect. And then also just a final note, it's not really news, it's something I think is cool. The game called Demonschool, which is out now. It's on my list. I have a code. Listen, folks, listen,
You
PR,
don't play games.
if you send me a code, like I'll get to it. I always do.
Yeah.
It's just not in the fucking window you maybe want me to.
Thankfully, I'm very clear whenever I get codes or I'm offered codes. I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't promise you a single thing
Yeah.
on this planet.
No.
I'm so sorry.
It's a good example, like baby steps. I got baby steps, and then what did I do? I fucking sat on it for 2 months and I wrote something about it. So like that's what
VGBs.com.
yeah, VGBs.com. So like and then you know what? A lot of people liked it. How many people were like great review on this? Great review on no. You wait 2 months and then you have some minority write something about your game.
You got
And
one
then
of the
it's like
wokies to write something.
yeah, you get one of the wokies. Hey, Devolver, get at me. Let me know how many units you sold yesterday. Okay, of baby steps.
Let
Anyway,
me see
I'll
those
get to
wokey
it.
numbers. Let's see the ping back on those links.
Listen, I'll get to it. All right, but Demonschool, one of those games that very Persona inspired RPG. I appreciate that they've done low numbers. They're low number RPG. I like low number RPGs. Big fan of that. But they're doing credits differently. They did credits differently in their game. Listen, I don't want to say that they're the first people to do this. I know that they're not, but I also want to say they called attention to it. I think it's really cool. In the credits of this game, they actually, say what people did, kind of their title, but they also specifically list the things that they've done in the game itself, which I think is really neat. I think that's nice. I think that's a fun little detail. Because especially with indies that are small, that are making games like this, everybody wears a ton of fucking hats, and you'd be shocked, like, the games I was making at my studio back in 2013 or whatever. It's yeah, John, he ran the payroll. He did the fucking hiring and he like put people in the right place because he doesn't know shit. Also, he did the scripting for like 45% of the game, which is just like, you wouldn't know that if you just put it on
No.
a thing in the credits, right? So we should have done that. And it's like another good example. We had, we had an artist that mostly did, art stuff, but then had an idea for like a side quest and like, did kind of the
Yeah.
beats for that. It's fun. It's great. And so I'm like, I like that these indies, I like that Demonschool did it this way. And I hope that's a thing that people maybe think of doing in the future, because big AAA studios, you have less room for that. You're more siloed.
Yeah, because these are paragraphs.
Yeah, because
of stuff
these are
that individual people
paragraphs of
did.
stuff individual people did, and it's like I saw this and I was like, yeah, that's kind of the fucking deal. Like with these indies, and it's fun, it's neat. It's like it gives you an idea of how this stuff gets made. So,
Yeah.
thought that was neat. Should we talk
Yeah,
about
like
some stuff that we played? Oh, go ahead.
just real quick, because sometimes I think about this is like a somewhat infamous or famous, depending on the kind of person that you ask, story about Fallout 4, right? Which is that for a period of the development to fill up like a bunch of side quests, they just had like everybody at the studio just like write a 1 sentence quest on a piece of paper and
Yeah.
they put them in a hat and drew them out. And it's like, those motherfuckers didn't get credit for I'm sure some random
No.
QA person would have loved to have their writing credit. Sure, it was just
Absolutely.
one line. Like they didn't
Yeah.
build the thing, but like that's a start.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Give people their Moby Games credits.
Give it to them. Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a good point. I mean, like credit is such a hot topic in the industry, and like doing this, what Demon
We
School
do
is
it real
doing
bad.
is really really thorough and great, but the bar's in the toilet. Like
The bar's in the toilet.
the bar's in the toilet.
You have artists not getting credited for
Just
doing
straight
art.
up not getting credited.
You have,
I mean-
you have people entirely left out as well. Like that's not even getting into that conversation, which we very gently touched on with the Bandai Namco Singapore news. But like, yeah, there's entire studios who either aren't in at all, or it's like all localization, localization Studio 12, or for the people playing at home, I'm squinting at the camera. you go to mobygames.com.
Mm-hmm.
You scroll down on the credits. You see entire companies listed under special thanks.
Yeah.
What did they mean by that?
What do they mean?
Does that
What
mean they did anything? Does that mean that Sakurai had a really nice conversation with someone at Bandai Namco, but doesn't, they're not cleared to say, like, what does that
Or
mean?
didn't remember who it was? I just don't even remember who
Right,
that
like-
was. Fuck. Like, yeah, it's silly. It's really silly. I don't. Well, I do know what it is. It's unions. Unions help films and television. Yeah, like if you sit at the end, and also like listen, movies and TV has their own issues. I'm not saying it's
yeah.
like a 1-to-1,
But simply, we're in the toilet. They've at least gotten to the sink.
but they've gotten to the sink because if you go to see one of these fucking Marvel movies and you sit through the fucking credits, I mean, yeah, they put shit at the end of those, but as a way to put you through the ringer, but like
I miss the opening credits, where it's just like
I
people walking around and they
know.
just scroll on the screen.
I miss
Man.
it. It's great.
Anyways,
But those credits are so fucking long because they tend to kind of give credit to everybody individually. They don't do a whole lot of stuff that is just like lumping everything into one company. They will have a company labeled and then they'll actually list the people that are on it. It's like, it makes sense. Games are in the toilet at this regard. Yours truly has been on the receiving end of receiving no credit for a published game that he was involved with, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forgive the people that did that. It's crazy to me that this is something that happens. And so, yeah, I feel very strongly about the crediting problem in games. And so, Necrosoft, nope, not Necrosoft. Is it Necrosoft?
isn't it Necrosoft?
It's Necrosoft. You know what? You know what I just did? I thought I said Necrosoft out loud, and I mistook it for Neversoft, the studio that eventually merged with Infinity Ward that made Tony Hawk. And then I second guessed myself, but yeah, Necrosoft. I liked what they did. Very cool. All right, Lotus. Should we talk about some stuff that we played? You and I played basically 2 things this week.
2 things total.
2 things total. I did play a couple other things, but like maybe not
Not enough
maybe not
to-
enough to talk about it.
That's fair. We can keep it light.
But my God, Lotus, what's gotten into you? You played another game that came out this year.
Can you imagine
I can't
who
fucking
is this
believe it.
person sitting
I don't
before
get
you?
it.
John, get the doppelganger gun. You're gonna
Get
have
it?
to
I
drive
know.
again.
I know. Crazy. But you played a game called HYPERBEAT, which like I didn't know about this, but boy, it is scratching a very specific. What's that game now? Shit.
Osu?
Well, also that. fuck. What's
Cookie Run
the?
Kingdom BTS minigame. Because that's also a rhythm game.
No, I'm thinking of um. Oh, it's got the announcer. It's not Super Hot. It's the other one. Super Hot's actually, folks. Super Hot's going to come up again in this episode, so just keep that in mind.
The one that has the announcer but isn't super hot.
Oh my god. Keep talking. You talk about it. Talk about this game.
Yeah, HYPERBEAT's rhythm game. The visual is kind of like, I guess like Space Harrier like, where you're just kind of like moving your little guy around the screen. It's set
Super
in...
Hexagon.
Oh,
it kind of reminds.
I couldn't think of why you were saying super hot. I was just thinking of Tacoma. I couldn't get off of that because I was thinking of the wireframe figures. I see what you're saying now.
Sorry,
no,
the gameplay of this evokes a little bit of Super Hexagon in my head. All right, sorry.
No, I hear you. That makes sense. But yeah, the visual is kind of like Space Harrier, where you're using your mouse or your Steam Deck or your whatever to move your little guy around in this very simple dial, flying through space and syncing to the rhythm. Most of it is just flying through stuff, but then the more difficult you get, the more specific inputs that you have to do. It's never anything too complicated. It's like left and right, or a hold for either of those things, and that's as far as it gets. But it is really, really fun. It's really nice. It's really pretty. I had a shocking amount of fun customizing my little guy, which like they're very simple little guys. They're just deeply polygonal gradient figures with like a few accessories and then their little weapon. So I didn't really think I would enjoy it, but I really like how my character like came out. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, really like legitimately excellent soundtrack. It really stays in a very particular MIDI sound font, but it still manages to introduce like a pretty good amount of variation. I think the only thing that's difficult is the songs aren't titled in like super evocative ways. So like I often forget which song is which.
Yeah, sure. I can see that.
Yeah, thankfully though they are kind of broadly categorized by character, because you get each kind of song pack by talking to certain characters. So I remember that like I really like all of Yellow's songs, and the characters are just the color that they are. I think the presentation of the story mode is really nice, and the way that you interact with the little hub world is like, you know, it's cool. To interact with something, you walk up to it and then you let go of any of the controls, and then a little rest marker appears above your head, like a musical rest note, and then when it fills up, then the interaction starts. And there's a lot of really cute stuff like that I really liked. I'm like mixed feelings on the story mode. I like it overall, but it doesn't have a lot of room to work with its dialogue, so it comes off like pretty schmaltzy at times.
Yeah, sure.
Where it's like, if you had a little bit more time to develop this and to move through these points, or if you made them slightly less like sentimental, then maybe it'd work a little better. But certain characters, especially Red and Blue, just feel like they're kind of rushing to get to their big overarching point about the human relationship to art.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. I can see that. This game is pretty.
It's really pretty. I like that it feels kind of like simple too. Not like overtly simple or anything like that, but because it restrains you to like a clock face.
Yeah.
Where the notes can be is like standardized. So it can ask you to do, even as someone who like, I'm not particularly good at rhythm games, and this is totally new to me, like I'm not an OSU person or anything, so I'm unfamiliar with how to control something like this. I felt like I could get to a pretty complicated level relatively quickly as long as I knew the song, and that was very enjoyable. And like when you do stuff right in this game, especially when you're floating through like really long hold notes, it just feels so beautiful and elegant, which is not something that you really get out of other rhythm games. And in a lot of ways, it's not really what you want. Like you want to have those big percussive hits, and this still has those. But underlying, you feel very like gentle, even doing harsh notes, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, this is cool. I dig the menus look good. You know, kind of a like PS1 era flatness to some of them.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Your results screen looks straight up like something out of like Wipeout for PS1. Just some just good combinations of decisions here with like the way that this game looks.
Yeah, it just has like a layer of Nightcore grime and static over it, which is good.
Which is nice.
I did want to get into the custom mapping stuff. There's not a lot of it because it is complicated, unfortunately. I don't think it's an easy ask to ask for a more simple interface to do it in,
Yeah.
but that would be my major ask for the game, because as it
Yeah.
stands, it's like you have to have a digital audio workstation
Yeah.
and create and then modify MIDI files at a fairly granular level. And like if you don't
That's
already know how to
tough.
do that, you hit a wall pretty much immediately.
Right.
So it would be great. It would be excellent. I feel like the game has done quite well. So I would love to see something that someone like me could edit some maps to.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. I would like that as well. Yeah,
Play
you can
it.
get.
It's an amount of
Yeah,
money.
play it. It's $15
Okay, I thought
on
so.
Steam.
I almost said
Yep.
19.99, but I said
Nope. It's $15 on Steam. It's out now. Came out at the end of October. And it looks great. I'm gonna put it in my wish list because that looks awesome. I played Morsels, a game that I said I was going to play last week and then didn't. Morsels, that's an Annapurna published joint. It is basically an action roguelite where you are a little adorable mouse in a trash world where cards that give you cool little critter powers rain from the heavens, and then like the barons of this world collected the most cards, and now there's one super cool card to rule them all that's been split into pieces, and obviously you're gonna go find those and kill the barons or whatever. And you're just a little mouse. You're just a little guy, and like you can't do anything. Actually, this game is controlled with a left stick. You can dodge roll with the right trigger. You can trigger a special ability with the left trigger. But the face buttons are basically all attack buttons for each cardinal direction. And when you're just the mouse, you just squeak in that direction, which is really cute. And you can't do anything. So when you go collect cards, you're basically turning into a different creature. So it is this kind of collecting critters, Pokemon kind of vibe. What I love about this game very off the bat is that it explains very little to you. So when you go get a new guy, it doesn't really say, hey, this is its projectile. This is its cool ability. It's going to hand it to you. You're going to experiment with it because there's really no downside to experimenting, and you're going to kind of learn what its special abilities are. So, for example, I recently got a guy that kicks like a ball of yarn, like a soccer ball, for his projectile, and instead of regenerating, you have to actually collect the ball to attack again. But if you like corner an enemy, it's basically just bouncing back at you, and you're collecting it, so you can basically rapid fire, and it does a lot of damage. Um, and then I found a guy that like basically like pukes. He's like a little ghost and he pukes like ectoplasm, but only like a few feet in front of him, and it does like very little damage. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy good for? But then I did a dodge roll, and you can just you can go anywhere on the map. So there's an artificial depth to the map where there's some stuff like turrets and some other things up on the walls that are shooting at you.
Oh, I
But
see.
with the ghost guy, you can just go up there and kill the stuff and create shortcuts for yourself because each of the D-pad buttons switches you between the different guys that you've collected.
Right.
So you can have these kind of cool combinations of like, oh, I want to get up there, or oh, I want to attack this enemy with this explosive projectile that only this one critter has. You can basically put these things in combination and concert with each other, and come up with some really neat ways to tackle these little roguelite levels. You eventually get to a boss of each section. And the in between, the little like campsite sections that you would see in like Slay the Spire or something, they're all really weird. This is like a really cool aesthetic. It's very trash punk. Nothing is really explained. You meet an
It's
overturned
very
art.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Very Garbage Pail Kids. I met an overturned arcade machine with like a little critter like poking its head out that says, you can either shake my coin slot and see what's in there, or you can actually insert a coin and play a game. And so I played a game, and it loads up a really crude 3D version of the game, and you're basically the mouse trying to collect a little gem and run away from these other critters. And I got the lowest score you can get, and when I did it, he goes, number 6. You know what? It's okay to not be good at video games. And I was like, thank you. I really appreciate it. So you're meeting a bunch of stuff. There's a whole lot of little things that it's very clear that this is going to unlock that. Oh, you found a secret. That's going to mean something later as you progress through these roguelike things. I'm not fully cleared the full thing yet. So there could be a lot of stuff I'm missing even now. But, your little hub world is in the sewer. You can give a hug to a giant trash guy that's kind of directing your every move. And when you give a hug, you make this cute little sound. And you need that cuteness because this is a really gross, like Lotus said, kind of garbage pail kid aesthetic game. It's got this pretty sick, overlay filter on it, which kind of makes it look even grosser than it would otherwise.
It's a fine layer of nasty.
It's a fine layer of nasty, and it's just it's a gross, squishy, lots of snails, lots of slime, lots of gunk, and the soundtrack's really nice. I like the soundtrack.
It's like the Nasty Patty from SpongeBob.
Yes. And yeah, I don't know why I keep saying critter because they are called morsels in this game.
Yeah, well, they're critters.
They are critters. But yeah, I dig this. I would love to do a full clear because I have, a pretty clear idea that this is going to open up in interesting ways once we hit that point. But I haven't done it yet, so I will report back. But I have enjoyed what I've played of this. You can go get it now. It's on sale actually until December 2nd, so only a day or two after you probably hear this, but it's on sale right now for $13.50 on Steam. So yeah,
not a bad launch sale.
Not a bad launch sale,
but its first. Ooh.
Oh, my camera died.
Well,
I heard you go oop, and I was like, well, what happened? I was like, oh, my camera died.
Just completely, but it's weird because I can still kind of see, it has a slight off black color to it.
Here we go. It's coming back. Here we go. Oh, is it coming back?
Right,
wow,
here we go.
No, it didn't.
Any second. Just now. And go.
Oh, interesting. Oh, folks.
Is it beefed?
My camera maybe shoot dead.
Oh, like permanent?
Oh, I don't know, but it's not turning back on. Which is that's new.
Yeah, and this hasn't not happened before, but usually it hasn't really.
Usually it hasn't. It usually doesn't
I don't really remember it happening during COD either, just stream.
Oh no, me neither.
And streaming software is its own issue. Where I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
And it's not too warm in here. Actually, it's it's nice and cool today. Actually.
Yeah, mine only has that issue of getting too warm if it's been on for a long time.
Yeah. Huh. Well, we're going to keep going with the show.
I'll just be talking to a void. That's okay.
Be talking to a void. That's okay.
You have to put a sticker of yourself on the video version.
Yeah, I'll in fact, let me try to
can you add something?
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna add something. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Here. Let's go add. Folks, if you're listening to this on the we're not gonna edit this out. Jordan, don't edit this out. It's just not important for us to edit it out, but now Lotus is going to be able to talk to let's find him. Let's find 20-year-old John. Go ahead and talk to this guy.
This
for the rest of the show.
Photo of you.
Let me get my guy out of here. Let's see here. I can't. I don't think I can
Yeah, I was gonna
change
say I don't
this.
think you can, which is fine.
Which is
The
fine.
star of the show has arrived. I think anyone can forgive a little black box.
The star of the show has arrived. And Lotus, do you want to describe this photo of me from when I was 20 years old?
Of course, this is John at 20 years old. Seems to be a outdoors, perhaps a beach party, or not beach party, pool party kind of situation,
Yep.
sitting on
Yep.
what is clearly a classic Tuscan Revival outdoor chair.
God, you nailed that. That's so
Yeah,
true.
John wearing a ringer tee,
Yep.
black or gray rings, light gray tee, has either braces or a retainer, and
It's braces for sure.
braces. Yeah, visage. So it's not quite twisted into a grimace, but it's definitely maybe caught off guard and kind of like, oh God,
Yeah.
there's a camera on me and I'm not happy about it, and has not yet realized like, oh wait, I should smile for the camera. Wearing some classic, 90s, early 2000s horizontal oval glasses,
I
very
mean,
thin frames.
These glasses fucking stink, brother. They are
I
bad.
You're an office siren, John. You just didn't know it yet.
I just didn't know it. I didn't know it.
And John also has a pretty close cropped buzz cut. That combined
Yep.
with the glasses, the grimace, and the braces makes him look kind of like an adult version of Sid from Toy Story 2. It
does.
a shady character at
Yeah.
the pool party.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I also crucially have like I have twice as much neck beard as mustache.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's rough. It is rough.
It's bordering on a mugshot, but it's clear that you're not
It's clear. I'm at a pool party.
being mugshot. Yeah, it's
I'm
clear
not
that
being
you're at a pool
mugshotted.
party, which is so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's me. And for our YouTube folks, this is going to just be on for the rest
Yeah,
of the
this is
show.
just gonna be odd. That camera
So,
ain't fixing itself.
that camera's
Not while the
not coming
show's
back.
on.
Yeah, and honestly, doesn't that bode well for me just in the next few days? If why the fuck is this happening now? I mean, it's just absolute lunacy. Oh nope, it's back.
Oh. Either way, the picture's staying up. Ah. All right.
All right, well, it'll stay up for a little while. Look at
Just
that
a little.
guy.
Just as a treat. Just a, as
Look
a
at
treat.
look at this guy.
Look at how far
this
you've
fucking
come.
Guy. Look at how far I've come. It's
Now you
crazy.
can hear whoever's revving.
Wow, they're revving. They're revving. I actually thought that was outside my house for a second, but it wasn't.
There's something specifically about distant car noise that tends to sound very real. We frequent.
Oh, it's dead.
Well, whatever.
That's
Anyway, we frequently have the issue of we'll be watching YouTube or sports on the TV in our living room, and we'll hear a car and think that it's coming from the TV because it just has a really weird quality to it. It's like the road that this noise is coming from and the shape of our apartment complex makes it like a megaphone directly into us. So it's way louder and way more close and realistic sounding than it reasonably should be. It's really
God.
strange, kind of annoying, but mostly funny.
That is really funny. Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah, we get distant revving because there's a really long drag
Yeah.
of road called Green Oaks, which is like pretty close to our house, but like the
Why
really
are you
long.
doxing yourself, John?
No, like I've talked about Green Oaks before. It's okay.
Okay.
It's a very long road. Like they can't narrow it
Alright.
down that much.
That's fair.
But there's a really long stretch, but it's not that near us. But we'll hear people at midnight doing they're just doing revving.
Yeah, this road, it's like relatively close to us, and it's just that it's quite long and straight, and so
Yep.
it's a side road. It doesn't have any lights on it, so
Yeah. Yep. That's how it works.
that's how it works.
That's how it works. Hey, listen. If you go to VGBs.com/join, you can join the Hive. You can give us money every single month or every year, whatever you want to do. And if you join the Hive, you can go to the Hive section of our Discord, discord.gg/VGBs. You can ask us a Hive question. And folks, we get a lot of them every week, and we got a lot of them this week. So let's answer some of them. Let's start with Bone Chug Actual. Boy, I don't. Orbs
You
are
know what
now
this
on
means?
mobile. Is that a threat? I don't know what that means.
This is a Discord thing. Discord
Got it.
has, I guess, what you would call an in-app currency.
That's right.
And then
Okay.
you can buy them, or you can use them to buy little like borders for your Discord profile
That's
and
right.
stuff, like on
Okay.
Steam.
That's so that we're talking about
So
that
yes,
kind
that
of
is a
orb.
threat.
That is a threat. That is absolutely a fucking threat.
I would say, in general, orbs appearing where they previously were not is threatening. Kind of no
Yeah.
matter what the situation is.
Totally. Yeah. All right. Valerie B asking, let's just fucking rip the Band-Aid off. Hey, John, where do you keep finding all these super intelligent, super funny, super attractive? Wow. LGBTQ people to co-host various podcasts with you, and can you maybe stop fucking hoarding them all for yourself? Please and thank you. Well, where else would they go, Valerie?
And hey, this is one thing that did not come up when we were forced at gunpoint to say nice things about each other.
Yeah.
As much as John is hoarding us, it is also true. John is the only reason that you know who any of us are a lot of the time. John will laugh and John will brush this off, but especially at Fanbite, a lot of the queer people and the people of color that you like in games got their first byline because of John. And specifically because John wants the industry to be more diverse. That may sound crazy because of the slurs he's always saying, but it's true. And also, we just kind of like him.
You can't even see the face I'm making. Right
I
now.
was gonna. Is it the same one as
It's
young
the same
John?
one. It's the same one as 20-year-old John, except beat red. Yeah, no. Listen, Lotus is right. Since she said it first, I'll
It is
piggyback it.
objectively true, I must say. Because the thing is, too,
Yeah.
I swear, John, there was one point, this might have been on a pod, I don't remember what it was. Maybe
Yeah.
you were just mad on Blue Sky, which can happen.
Yep, that
Talking
happens a
about how diversity happens, and you were like, it's actually not hard. I just
wasn't
found, I didn't even find talented people. Talented people gave me their resumes, and I said, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they gave me the resumes were like if they fucking wrote a blog for someone or themselves or like yeah, it wasn't hard. I remember the day you're talking about and yeah, and I actually remember specifically what I was mad about. But it's not hard. There are people that are going to make that seem hard, and what they mean is that that they got to a point where they built their team with their buddies who are not diverse, and now they don't have enough money to justify bringing on diverse talent. And I never understood doing it in that direction, and so I didn't. I found the weirdos to be my friend instead of I just collected the friends that were the same as me. I don't have a lot. See, that's the other thing, Valerie B. I don't have a lot of like total normie straight friends either. I just don't.
Yeah, that's
I have the
also
ones I
fair.
made in high school, and then that was kind of it. Now, why did that happen? I don't know. But I know you're joking about hoarding them, but very crucially, I don't want to hoard them in the sense that like I want them to be out in the world, making the industry a much better place. And if that's with me, then great, but that doesn't matter to me. So it's a good question.
There are many people you would love to have jobs at other places, but those
Absolutely.
other places continue to not be super interested because
Yeah.
people, they just don't have the experience.
Just don't have it. They just don't
They,
have
ju-
the
oh, they just don't
experience.
have the experience. And critically, it's never been an important part of a professional workplace to have a training department or anything like that. I would rather just have someone who I already know and like working with and who's extremely overqualified that we can underpay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Good question. Thanks, Valerie
great
B.
question.
Valerie B asking also a head scratcher. What sport would you watch more if it was more popular?
I mean, I have an answer because I've started watching it more now, which
Okay.
is hockey.
Okay. And do you
'cause-
think the popularity of it made you watch it?
Yes, because they've invented the PWHL, which is women's hockey.
That's
I
right.
can watch that on YouTube.com for free.
Yeah.
Hockey technically legally happens on like ESPN and stuff, Women's hockey doesn't. And also, because I have lived in Corpus Christi and Houston, Texas, men's hockey also is
Yeah.
not on television. I would have to pay for a NESN, a New England Sports Network subscription, which is very expensive,
Yeah.
yearly, just to be able to watch the Bruins. And then I wouldn't even get the playoffs. So it's like,
Yeah.
whatever. My dad has had to deal with that, and he can't stand it. So that's like one obvious one, is just that, like, I can watch it now. And also there's women involved, which I love.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it now when I didn't vote. And like now I catch NHL highlights too, just because I guess I'm watching it. I'm kind of watching it all now, even though I don't really get to watch men's hockey live ever.
Right. Hockey's an interesting one. I guess I would say, yeah, I guess based on that answer, I kind of know what you mean. I would say, for me, it's sumo. Like if it was, if it had like a footprint, I don't know if you can hear the thunder at my house, but it's thundering.
No, that's nice though. I love
It
that
is
sound.
nice. I love that sound. Yeah, like I think if sumo was like readily available on channels that I knew, and it had like a recap show and could kind of catch me up with like who's fucking slapping and throwing well these
Yeah, right.
days.
The power rankings.
Like yeah, I think I'd be into that. I think I'd like to watch that.
Yeah. And some of the community stuff, to be sure, too. It's nice. I have two roommates. We are a household of lesbians. So, like, even casually, we're just like, yeah, we'll watch hockey together. And so
Yeah,
that's cool. And,
sure.
and to yell at the television or be like, you guys need to be fighting more, even though we have no idea what's going on before, like, a replay comes in, because it's just a pile of people. That's definitely an important aspect of it, I think, even in a very small group.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sports as a communal like fun thing is awesome. It's been a minute, really, since college that I've had that, and that was a lot of fun. When I had it, for sure. Jason asking, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Wow, Lotus, do you have a favorite Ninja Turtle?
Yes, because when I was a kid is when they first kind of restarted the TMNT animated shows.
Oh,
They
sure.
had the
Yeah.
first CGI one on Nick in like 2009, I think, and I like Donatello the most.
Donatello is just a great
I,
choice.
I also liked how he had his gap in that version of him. I think he still has a gap
Yes.
nowadays in his
He has a gap.
Rise of the TMNT. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a cool kid answer, and it's like the stock cool kid answer, but it is Raphael.
He's
Raphael just like
cool.
Raphael had like, can I say something insane? Raphael kind of had a smoldering relationship with April O'Neil.
No,
And I
that's
just-
true. Remember when they did the CGI movie, which did not look good, but they made it. They make it a whole thing, a whole
They make
love
it a
triangle
thing.
sometimes.
Yeah. And I was always like, yeah, Raph, like you see it. Like you get it.
You see it,
Like,
not
you
this
get
fucking
it.
hockey mask wearing human loser.
Yeah, no, yeah, come on, you get it.
What
You're a
was that
freak,
guy's
you get
name?
it.
Casey.
Casey Jones, yeah. Played by Elias Codius in the live action first movie. And third movie. He was in the third movie as well, I think. The third movie, Lotus, for $1 million, what's the third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live action movie from the early 90s about?
Oh, the early '90s live action.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, okay, hang on. I don't. One of them is called Secret of the Ooze. That's all I can
Yeah,
really
that's
remember.
that's two, and
That's two,
is
okay.
great. And that's with Vanilla
I'm-
Ice and Ernie Reyes Jr. as Kino, the pizza delivery boy. It's got Token Razor in it. It's got Super Shredder in it. That's great. And the slime, the ooze. But yeah, no, 3 goes in a slightly different direction.
I'll say that aliens have taken Shredder, and it's created a power imbalance, so they need to get him back.
Yeah. No, they get a lamp from an antique shop, and the lamp transports them back to feudal Japan so they can stop.
That's why I've seen pictures of him as a
It's
samurai.
really wild. It's
I
really,
forgot.
it's
I
really crazy. It's really wild.
Kind of like an Animorphs Megamorphs situation where you just do the natural evolution of the thing. Because in Animorphs Megamorphs, the Animorphs can turn into animals, but it's not like Beast Boy. They can only turn into animals that they have touched before or that they've gotten a DNA sample of. So they introduce the Megamorphs books where the Animorphs go back in time so then they can get dinosaurs.
Damn, that's cool.
It all makes sense. And then you say, well, you know, they all have like Japanese weapons. They got to get to samurai times.
Yeah, they got to get the samurai times. They got to get there. Yeah, I love like the first one, the first live action movie from like 1990 or whatever, is really dark, and I don't mean just in tone, but like
Yeah.
the whole aesthetic of that film is very dark.
They did have to deal with their costumes.
Yes, they had to deal with their costumes, which are like horrifying foam rubber things
Presently
where
rotting, like even worse than
rotting.
the little gremlins.
Yeah, and because they were bad, if the lighting was really good, you could see the people inside the mouth. So the lighting had to kind of be kind of low. And then the first one was like that, and then the second one was kind of like, all right, what if we like really like leaned into the fact that this is clearly a kid's property right now, and it's like, and like we're gonna make it the most popular thing in the world, and like it felt like they were really successful, and I would love to have been a fly on the wall of them making the third one where they're like, what if we just like introduce feudal Japan to the same audience and like kind of go deep into the dynamics between the colonialists and the like the colonists and the colonizers and the fucking natives on the on in Japan, and it's like, huh, like I don't know if like 8-year-old me was ready for like the Portuguese Catholic set or whatever. Like I don't like I just didn't under I didn't get it. I was very confused by the whole thing. Very disappointed. It was the first movie I went to that I was disappointed in. I remember feeling that.
Wow.
Yeah. AMPM Video asking, one of my other favorite podcasts used to do this thing called April Reels
This is so
Day,
heinous.
where the hosts would express genuine criticisms toward each other, and everyone goes in knowing that's coming. Imagine VGB April Reels Day.
I refuse to. Thank you so much for asking.
I will not do this. I will not do this.
Yeah, because even
I don't
how
really know
genuine
the
can you
point.
be if you know that you're being recorded?
If you're being recorded, and also kind of like the cool thing about us, and I'm lumping Nikki and even Jordan into this, is that I think if any of us had what is quote unquote a genuine criticism toward the other, one, we would not say it on the show probably.
To
and
me,
and two, we would just deal with it.
yeah.
It's just this
Also,
is just not going to happen.
Yearly is not.
Yearly, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think if this had been phrased like every year my favorite podcast did essentially the Festivus airing of grievances with each other, like I can imagine that's funny, because it would just be like I don't even know, but it's like we could make up some bullshit and it would be funny. But like I would never in a million years do this.
No, perhaps I am just a good little Southern Christian lady, but to me, it feels like such a major breach of etiquette to even attempt to do this.
It's really weird.
It feels crazy.
It feels foul to me. It feels foul. What also what podcast is that? I would love to. Love is strong. I would be interested in knowing what that is like. I would like to go listen to that episode to see if it is as hugely uncomfortable as I have to imagine it being. Yeah. Valerie B asking, do you think having listened to Nikki grammar for a couple of years will make it easier for me to beat Baba Is You? It's a really
Honestly,
funny question.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why that's very poignant in a weird way.
Yeah, it is.
I absolutely think that that's true.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boiling a sentence down to its essential parts. I wonder if people who are fluent in sign language can do Baba Is You better.
Ooh,
as well.
that's a good question.
Because the syntax is totally different in a way that I think could be helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a programming thing, but so I mean, maybe the better question is, does knowing ASL syntax make you better at programming? But either way.
Yeah. Fonk asks, Brutal Legend is back and it's a different genre of music each time. Does anything beat George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic?
Don't make me bring up Whitney Houston for the 15th podcast in a row. I'll keep doing it. I'll just have to keep doing it, and it's
God,
fine.
Whitney's so good. I saw like some clip of her in concert. She's so good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, she's really good.
You know, like given the time that Brutal Legend came out in, was it ever floated a Michael Jackson Brutal Legend
Oh, wow.
pop legend?
A
Probably
pop
not, because I,
legend?
I don't
Probably
think that
not.
studio's nor Tim Schafer is interested in pop music,
No.
at least not to this kind of level or extent. But I love a pop world.
Yeah, does anything beat George Clinton Parliament? I mean, it's like, yeah, that's pretty good, Funk. I mean, I think that's a good pull. Um, I think, like, I mean, Funk is good. I'm not going to sit here and be like, Funk is like, Funk is worse than something. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I like Funk a
Yeah,
lot. I like, I do like it, but I don't know if I would definitively say, like, what am I going to say? Like, I think The Strokes, Is This It? Should be, it's like, well, I listen to one of those a lot more, honestly, but I don't know if I think it would translate better to like a video game. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Sure, Whitney Houston or George Clinton. That's probably it. Maybe Prince. Maybe like a
oh
Prince
yeah.
Brutal Legend. That would be pretty fun. Paisley Legend.
Paisley Legend.
You know. Yeah, Jason asking if after you roll all the things into the Katamari, you had to play a sport with it. Which sport would you want it to be?
Whatever sport, you need to be as far away from the ball as possible. There's too much spiky stuff in there.
A lot of spiky
I
stuff in
can't.
there.
There's so many, especially because Katamari is such a simple, relatively low poly style. There's a lot of harsh corners and
Yeah,
points. I
yeah.
don't want it near me.
A
I
lot
guess
of
unless we
lot of
mean
points.
post like Star Explosion, I suppose. Then I would love to do billiards, space billiards. That would be
That'd be
fun.
fun. That'd be fun. I would love to like play like a 1v1 basketball game with the ball. And then like part of it is like once you go dunk it, you got to jump kind of on top of the ball to cram it through the hoop because of all the like the jagged edges. You're like cutting the hoop up and stuff. I think that'd kind of be funny. I'll go with that. My Hero Zero says, I don't want to click on this YouTube video, so please tell me in your own thoughts. What changes with gaming when you hit your 30s? Signed, Almost 40 Gamer. The YouTube thumbnail is for gaming as you get older. What changes with gaming when you hit your 30s? Now, I believe I'm the only one who can answer this question.
Yeah, I would be purely speculative. I guess we should say also the background of the thumbnail, which is a contemporary YouTube thumbnail, is almost impossible to see, so you wonder why it's
Yeah.
there at all. It
Yep.
appears to be Pokemon Red, Green, Blue,
Yes.
Final Fantasy
Final Fantasy
7. Oh yeah,
7.
that's his
Yep.
arm. Shadow of the Colossus, and then I don't know, maybe Ghost of Tsushima. I can't
I
super tell.
believe that is Ghost of Tsushima. Yes.
It could also be Rise of the Ronin,
It could
maybe.
be. It could be.
Or Yote or Assassin's Creed. I can basically just see that someone who appears to be Japanese is on a horse from behind
Yeah.
and is
Yeah.
walking on grass. So
Yeah.
do with that what you will.
What changes with gaming when you hit your 30s? Well, I mean, it has, I think, less to do with the 30s specifically and more to do with what is happening probably in your 30s. I mean, it's like not everybody gets married, not everybody is in like a super involved relationship, not everybody is has a 9 to 5 job, but like, a lot of people have those things. And for me, a job plus a spouse slash relationship slash trying to maintain some sort of social life. Yeah, I mean, we kind of see what it is for me now, which is I play maybe a couple games a week. I pretty rarely like completely beat stuff. It's pretty rare unless I'm just like super, super into it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think it really depends on a lot of factors. It made much less difference that I was in my 30s than it did. I was just doing these other things. So, because I know plenty of people in their 30s that still go sicko shit and they play a ton, and I just don't. So Lotus will be one of those people just playing stuff from 20 years ago. You know.
I sure will.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a lot of stuff to get to.
You got a lot of stuff to get to. 100%. Um, Jason also asking, what's your most indefensible boomer ass gaming opinion? Indefensible.
Like totally indefensible is hard because my immediate thought is
Yeah.
like my most boomer gaming opinion, which I most strongly believe in, is just that I won't pay a subscription for a video game. I'm buying the game once. I'm one of those people, 100%. God, the other thing that's weird to think about is boomers are 65 at the youngest now.
Right. I know.
As opposed, boomer just used to be a stand for adult, and it's like, well, now that's millennials and some Gen X.
Yeah. 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 My most boomer ass gaming opinion. I mean, it's not even really boom. I mean, I guess I actually no. That is true. I feel like sometimes I feel like Tommy Tallarico in that clip where he goes, "In my day, we didn't have the internet to play with other people." And like, to be honest, when he said that, I was kind of like, "You're fucking
damn
right,
right.
Tommy. Like, you're fucking right, Tommy. We didn't have to deal with that shit." Yeah, my most boomer ass opinion is that like I don't want to play every game multiplayer. I often don't want to play a game multiplayer.
That's the thing too, though, is I think that that's completely defensible, but that is largely
I do
who
think
I
it's
am
defensible.
as well. I
Yeah.
can't think of anything that is truly indefensible.
No, like indefensible would be like, I'm not sure disabled people should be able to play video games. Like that's a fucking indefensible opinion. I can't do that. So yeah, I don't know what I would say. But yeah, that is like a genuine kind of like, I think for me, for my personal tastes and desires, games got worse when the industry and the public decided that multiplayer stuff was like the most successful thing.
Yeah, kind of like branching off of that. Anytime people talk about a game or review a game and they bring up like the experience of like reading guides or figuring things out with the community or community rumors or anything like that, I'm like, this shouldn't be
Right.
part of the review. I don't really care how much it mattered to you.
Right.
Because that's not going to be my experience, and I don't give a fuck because I'm not
Right.
going to do all that. Like, oh, perfect. The image is more centered now.
There we go. I've changed the format of it, so it's because you know what, Lotus. You know what I did, Lotus. I thought to myself, who's gonna want to look at that size for as long as we've been talking? And my mother is
people who are going to get to the
person.
Hive questions.
That's true.
Are going to be okay with it. They'll just put the Discord of the Hive questions right over your face.
Yeah, they will. They will. Just be like, God damn.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the other one is like, I actually do think that games have a problem with difficulty, like broadly speaking. I think a lot of games don't really think about their difficulty in an intelligent way, and that includes a lot of games being way too easy.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the prime example I think of is like Celeste, where this is when I was still streaming full time, and it was sold to me that like, yeah, this game's pretty difficult. A lot of people are having a hard time with it. It's this platformer, blah 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 blah. And I played it, and I was like, this game is very easy, actually. Like it's a platformer that's designed in such a way where every room has a correct answer, and that answer is usually very straightforward, and the rooms are designed in such a way that you are led to the correct answer pretty much immediately. And like there's bonus levels in the strawberries and whatever, but Celeste and a lot of other games, it's like right at the point where they're starting to get interesting and actually challenging, they end. Sometimes before, sometimes a lot after that even. Like I think I complained about that. We were talking about Super Mario Odyssey in the Discord a while ago, and I'm like, that game's great and all, but it's way too fucking easy. Anytime you're in a challenging area, you're like, wow, this is really interesting what they're doing with this. I can't, I almost died on that one. I can't wait to see. Oh, I'm done.
I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm just done. Okay, I guess here's my shine, and I'll go do something else.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Yeah. Yeah.
That might be as boomer as I get.
Yeah, that's a good boomer one. I like it. That's good. Dylan asks, what's the best fake currency in a video game?
Unfortunately, John, it has to be Kingdom Hearts. Money
Oh,
spelled
money.
Munny is fucking funny.
It's really funny. It's really, really funny. It is really funny. I will fully admit that I think that is pretty funny. Every single time I see it on the menu screen, I kind of chuckle because it's
Yeah.
like it's really stupid, and
Yeah.
they just went for it. It could have so easily just been like, it's Gil. It's Gil. We've got the
Right.
Final
It's
Fantasy people in
Gil,
there. We
it's
could just get it's
money,
Gil.
etc.
Yeah, but it's
Oh, The
like
Sims
it's
is pretty good too. Simoleons, that's funny.
Simoleons is pretty good. I think money is good. Um, I do think Gil is pretty solid, but it's just because it's like that's in games that I like. But like money is really funny though. It's, I think that's probably what I would say. My Hero Zero asks, "What's your price to 100% Skull and Bones?" 100%.
100%, it
Jesus.
has to be around 50 hours. So that's thing is, how miserable is the game? Because like I am well aware that it's not considered good, but there's different ways to be bad, you
Yeah.
know? Wait, is this a PvPvE game? Or is it just single player? Hang on, I'm looking.
God, Skull and Bones. It's an online game.
I was gonna say I seem to recall it is online. Wow, this is a $30 game that is on sale for $6 right now.
Hell yeah.
I would say, not including the price of the game, because it's not a true, you know, hourly rate kind of composition that you could do for it,
No.
especially because it's a
No.
100%.
Right.
I'm trying to imagine if I was doing like a charity stream and I said, if we get to this point, if you guys donate to this specific pot and none of the other incentives, how much would it take for me to start doing Skull and Bones 100% on such a stream? For charity, I'd make it like $500, I think. You gotta really, a lot of people gotta
Okay.
want to see that.
Okay. Lotus, my number is so much higher that
I thought it might be.
I think I'm rethinking actually wanting to say it out loud because it's so much higher. I was thinking $100,000, my friend, because I really don't want to do it, and I'm kind of like to 100% a game. Like, here's the thing. Okay, here's the calculus I'm coming up with. I would have to change a lot of my habits to
That's
100%
true.
this game. So I think I am thinking in that regard. It's not like I'm like, oh, magically I can just like stop what I'm doing and then like now I can just play Skull and Bones. I guess if I had nothing else going on, then that number's probably much smaller. It's probably like $1,000 or something.
Yeah,
It's still
I
more
couldn't
than
think of
that.
any other situation in which this would occur. So I'm like, yeah, if I was doing a charity stream,
Yeah.
then yeah, I think
That
500
makes
would
sense.
be the pot for it.
That makes sense. That mine would still be higher. I think 1,000, maybe 5,000, something like that.
A
Like,
thousand or 5,000, a
I
very
mean, it's like
small band.
it's just like it's gotta be a four figure. I think at the very least. But I'm still thinking about a hundo. I'm like, oh man, that seems bad. It seems like a bad time. Is mostly my thing. My Hero Zero asking, Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai received an anime adaptation featuring giant robots. What classic film would you adapt into an anime, and what aspect would you change to make it more anime?
But we don't need more anime.
We don't need more anime, it's true. I don't think we need more anime. I agree with that.
Especially for a classic. There's some like kind of crummy like Disney Channel originals that I could throw into here, but a classic?
Yeah.
I guess maybe Clue.
Clue's good.
Clue's
What would
the
you...
like that's what I got to get there.
Okay.
Because they're color coded, the first thing that comes to mind is like Sentai, but I don't want
Ooh,
that.
sure.
But I don't want that.
Yeah.
Danganronpa's an anime. Madoka is an anime. So I would it would probably be the only thing that everything else is exactly the same. There's no supernatural elements whatsoever, but every kill is like a Puella Magi Madoka Magica level, like complete anime nonsense phantasmagorical kill. And all the blood is hot pink, like in Danganronpa. Sure, let's do that.
Okay. Okay. I think I would choose James L. Brooks's Terms of Endearment, which is, of
Okay.
course, based on a Larry McMurtry novel about a woman played by Deborah Winger and her mother played by Shirley MacLaine, and their very, very tumultuous relationship culminating, spoilers, in Deborah Winger's battle with ovarian cancer, in which she succumbs to it very dramatically at the end, but not before kind of reconciling with Shirley MacLaine. And what I would do to make it more anime is she's not dying of cancer. She just has to have a sword fight with Shirley MacLaine. And
I thought you were going to say she gets isekai'd.
that would have been better, honestly, if she had just been isekai.
It's just the first 4 episodes are Terms of Endearment, and then it just becomes an isekai.
Yep. Yeah. No. I don't know. That's my answer. I don't really want any class. It's just like whatever.
No.
I don't know. Do we need more anime? I don't need more anime. Hey.
Yeah.
What hey, Lotus, you're gonna read this question.
I am. They put the fucking Smurfs in the 17 God of Music video, and they Smurfified all the 17 guys. So, is there an MV that Smurfs would improve instead of make worse? Which band would you put through Smurfification? Need to be so clear, John. I was not aware that this was happening. So, on our television YouTube, I simply saw something to the effect of the Smurfs 17 music video. So we put it on, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then you see the Smurfs briefly. They're cute little like CGI cartoony Smurfs. They honestly look pretty decent. And then the thing starts, and me and my roommate look at each other and go, "Is this just God of Music?" Which is the name of a song by 17 that was released.
Got it. Okay.
I think last year, I want to say.
Got it.
And the music video for almost all of it is exactly the same, but randomly Smurfs have been edited over the music video to like be sitting on dudes' shoulders or singing on the ground next to them and various things of that nature. What would the Smurfs make better? The Blue Man Group? They're already blue.
They're already blue. They're already annoying.
I will say and this is K-pop knowledge, John. So don't you worry about it.
No, it's okay.
The Boys and Hypen, which are 2 K-pop groups, have done pretty like high-profile kids songs. So if you just imagine if we got like, I don't know, One Direction to do a special intro for Sesame Street, that is kind of like that, and then they just use it for the whole season. The Boys and Hypen have both done that. So honestly, you could do either of those. The Boys need the money, so I guess do the Boys.
The boys need the money.
The Boys need the money.
The boys need the money. God, what would I put the Smurfs in? I guess I would put them in. I would put them in Aaliyah's music video for "Are You That Somebody," which is already a Dr. Dolittle thing. It got repurposed to do a Dr. Dolittle thing, so now you can just layer the Smurfs into that. It's a great way to honor Aaliyah and her life and legacy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a question. Valerie B says, "Hey, can y'all talk shit about Mario Kart World for a bit so I can stop feeling insane?" Listen, we've talked Nikki and I have talked shit about that game already.
Yeah. The only way I can talk shit about it is I ain't gonna spend that money on that. It looks boring as fuck. Looks like a lot of straight lines.
It's really, really boring. The speed's not right. It doesn't feel very fast. The racing is still the same rubber bandy bullshit that you have to deal with the entire time. The open world stuff is not that interesting. It could have been deeper and more interesting. The best thing I can say about it is the music, the recompositions of classic Mario and Nintendo soundtrack stuff. Awesome, amazing. I thought they did an incredible job with that, but that's the best thing about that game. By like a mile. So, there you go. My Hero Zero asking, is New Game Plus a new playthrough or a continuation of the original?
I feel like a lot of games have canonical answers to this.
That's true. I agree with that.
At
I
least
think it
somewhat.
depends.
I would generally say it's usually a new playthrough.
I would usually say yes. I think, things like Nier Automata, obviously that's a continuation. And it's a different angle of it or whatever. But I think if you're just talking about like, oh, I still have all my powers and I'm gonna play through the game again, that's just cheat code.
Yeah.
That's
On
just
a
cheat
meta
code.
level, it's a second playthrough, but
Yeah,
narratively, it is the same one. Or
it's
the
just cheat
first one, I
code.
guess I should say, a new playthrough.
Yeah, it's just cheat code. Um, Valerie B
I
asks,
think this is more
"Hey,
for me.
this is definitely more for you. Hey, y'all are a bunch of esoteric 2000s visual novel perverts or something like that, right? Is Umineko actually worth playing, or is this some sort of 4chan psyop bullshit that the internet keeps trying to infect me with?"
It is a psyop, just to be so
Yeah.
clear. Umineko's not very good. I think in particular, knowing what I know of you, you will really not like it, even more than I don't like it, which is saying something. No, I think the thing about Umineko is it's for people who really enjoy a particular beat of anime storytelling that I don't, which is like there's no such thing as a three-dimensional character because every character has to be an over-the-top anime character, and their personal history becomes a list of factoids about them. And yeah, it also does a very common thing that you'll see in Japanese visual novel and story-driven like horror games of that time, which is it's like a lot of stuff that's just kind of done for like shock value. Probably not intentionally, but it is so poorly thought out. It's so underbaked. It's so shallow that it's like, well, this person was only doing the bad things because incest happened. And it's like, that could be an interesting character because it isn't, because it's this guy going, these bad things happen to me because incest happened. And then there's a flashback where you see the incest happening via visual novel
Oh,
text and like a couple of sprites just kind of wiggling around. Not in any
yeah,
explicit way, and it's just like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I think
yeah.
Umineko's kind of trash. Sorry.
Well, there you have it. I have nothing to say, Valerie.
John would hate it a lot.
I probably would hate it a lot. I
I
would
think he'd
probably
hate
hate it
it.
a lot.
Yeah,
The
it's a
little I just
particular.
read and whatever and what Lois just said sounds like I don't think I would be on board for
Yeah,
sure.
even with the without the more explicit or shocking facts, like even if that it totally doesn't bother you in any way, and you think it's all fine to be like factoids, it's just like
Yeah.
it just is a story of things happening in order and thinking about them, and then some more things happen in order, which is all any story is. But it really feels like it is the difference to me.
Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense. This is Bone Chug Actual. Question stolen from insert credit. What game would you take all the assets from to make a completely different game?
Now I said something verging on this. I want to say last week, but it would be Detroit Become Human. Can you imagine if I could just have all of those and do whatever I want?
That'd be great.
I'd have a good time.
That'd be really fun. I love that. Gosh, I would make. I would make a low key conversation text based game with the Majora's Mask assets. Because you take because they're like 150 unique characters in that game, and they
Right.
all and they all play like a very specific part. Just kind of rework them and do a new thing.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some mods as well of
Yeah,
that probably get into that.
yeah, yeah. I think so.
Yeah,
That's my easy off the dome answer. I don't really have like a. It's not a great answer, but it's the one I came up with.
it'll work.
It'll work. Lost track. There it is. Soy Socks asks, Which video game character do you think would be your ideal roommate, and who do you think would be good but actually unbearable once you get to know them?
Good roommate, I thought was really hard for a second, and then I thought about Chibi Robo, and that's
Oh, that'd be
he is
fun.
made to do that. I would make him work all the time. No, that's
Yeah.
not nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the hard question is who would be good on the face, but then just be awful.
Just be terrible. Just be fucking terrible. Um, I think, okay, so I think for the good one, um, I'm stuck on Final Fantasy VII for some reason. I think for the good one, like I think Tifa Lockhart would be like really solid. And before you go,
Okay,
before any of you, I see what you're doing. I see you. You can't see me, Lotus, but I see you.
I heard you.
And I'm not even talking about the bazungas
The Bahangas,
or
the
the
Boobas, or
bahangas,
the Yibbies. I'm not talking
I'm
about
not
any
even
of those
talking about
things.
any of that. I'm not talking about her closet's just like Doug Funny from Doug, but mini skirts instead of like. I'm not talking about any of that shit, you perverts. I'm saying she's kind, she's supportive, and she makes a good drink. And I think she would clean up after herself. Like
She's
it's
a
like I think
woman.
she. No, no, but no. And here's the other angle. I think Aerith would be a really shitty roommate because all she's
Oh
doing
yeah,
is like she's just thinking about the flowers all the fucking time. And I bet she doesn't clean up a goddamn thing in the house. I bet she is like the messiest gremlin
you think Aerith
roommate
is girl
ever.
rotting all
I
day long?
absolutely think Aerith is in fucking Cookie Monster pajamas on the couch. Like I just don't think she'd be a good roommate. I just don't think she'd be a good one. But
That's
Tiffa'd
so
be a great
funny.
roommate.
I can't think of someone who you would think is good, but then be unbearable. So I'm just gonna take yours because that's funny.
Okay. All right. Don't focus asks, when's the last time you felt lucky? That's a
Ooh,
good question. It's kind
because
of an interesting
I
question.
can't think outside of games,
I
and this
know.
is obviously a certain level of like psychological manipulation, but I feel like I'm very lucky with gotcha games,
Interesting.
which is strange. I've always, like when I
That is
first started
strange.
playing Cookie Run, I pulled two or three different legendary characters, and there's only like five of them, and they have a really low chance, like right away. When I randomly come back to the game, I always get whoever I want pretty much immediately. For the month or whatever that I played Genshin, I pulled the highest rarity character in my first like free 10 pulls, and everyone was mad at me, and I didn't know who he was. And I also did not know how gacha worked at the time, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to use him because he's a man. And I have my girly pop group, so fuck this dude. So yeah, I'd say my gotcha luck is pretty good. It's probably the last time I
Okay.
was cognizant of it.
I like that answer. Last time I felt lucky, I mean, it's like we don't have to. Of course, don't make me bring it up for the 80th time in a row. Yeah, I got into a car accident and walked away with just one little break. That's pretty good. It was a pretty bad
One
one.
little break. Was it not
One
your
little. Well,
leg?
okay, it was a big. Okay, listen, it was a big break. I did show
Like
someone.
I get what you
I
mean,
did
but you
show.
can't call it little.
Okay, I did show someone my scars the other day. They were like, "Oh, oh, oh." So this is kind of a big deal, and I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." But I felt pretty. I did feel pretty lucky in that regard. Um, I often feel lucky, just kind of like my situation and upbringing, and like just I think being disabled, but having parents with money, that was kind of a fucking game changer for me.
Yeah,
Just like it's just like I don't know what to, and I didn't do anything there, so
yeah. That is
I feel kind of
pure luck of
lucky a
the draw.
lot. Yeah, I mean I feel really lucky a lot, so I don't have like a fun like quirky random like answer, but that's kind of where I land. Uh, Papa Bear Zach, what's a random old game you'd like to take this moment to gush about? John bringing up Jet Force Gemini the other day got me a wash in that Robin Beanland score. That has a pretty good score. It's true. The game's not very good, but that the soundtrack's good. The game's bad. I went back to replay it. I was like, "Oh man, this is
Some stuff is
aged
tough to go back
terribly."
to.
Yeah,
A random old game.
yeah.
I mean, I can't think of something that's totally like the first thing that comes to mind is like Pokemon Emerald because I played that game so much as a kid. But they don't need that, so whatever. You know,
Don't need it.
they don't need it.
Um,
I can always say Psychonauts.
Psychonauts is a good one.
There has yet
Psychonauts
to
is
be a
great.
game that's funnier than Psychonauts, which
It's
is
a really funny
impressive,
game.
but mostly sad. Because a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
people have
true.
tried to be funny, and it's not
That's true.
worked.
That's true.
Including Psychonauts too.
Yeah. That's true. I guess I would say let's talk about Dave Mira Freestyle BMX 2. Yes, it was the basis of Dave Mira BMX Triple X or BMX Triple X, which is of course like the game where it's like, oh my God, this girl's got her bush out and she's on a bike, like
She
that
kicks
sucks.
high.
She kicks, yeah, like that stinks. But Dave Mira Freestyle BMX 2 was a BMX game in the exact same mold of a Tony Hawk, but it was made by Acclaim and their label Max Sports, and it had a soundtrack that had Godsmack and Sum 41 and Sublime, Doing Time, which is a great song. I love that song so much. And it's solid, and it had this ragdoll physics that when you bail from your bike, it just mangled your body, and it was so much fun to play with friends.
Yeah.
And so I love that one a lot. I wore the fuck out of a GameCube version of that game. I just wore it the fuck out. I played it so much, and I like that game a lot. Beard Dragon asks, "Are there any games that that had you say, these peeps don't know me, but damn, do they know me?" Games that felt like they were made for you and you specifically.
Ooh, it's not done, so it will require an asterisk.
Yeah.
But Scarlet Hollow is up there.
Yeah?
It is. I don't think I've ever talked about Scarlet Hollow on the show. That's crazy.
No, I don't think you have.
Episode 5 out February 13th, I want to say. Because I think that's a Friday the 13th. Sometime in February is the point. Yeah, so Scarlet Hollow is a visual novel / RPG hybrid where you basically go back to your... I think it depends whether or not it's your hometown. But basically you're related to someone there, your cousin who is the family heir to like the coal mine because it is set in North Carolina. And the writer's from there, so they fucking get it. Like, it is a very authentic like view of rural / Southern America. There's a certain like element to it that I obviously don't get because I'm from Texas and not the Carolinas. But like, there's enough overlap in the way that people talk and the way that it's a small town that I think is so excellent.
Yeah.
And then the RPG elements come in partially of like picking traits. So you can pick to be like slightly psychic. You can pick to talk to animals. You can pick to just be an attractive person who other people like more. And I think that having such like an RPG light build is really good, especially with the way it interacts with like maybe the most complex relationship or dialogue system that is in a game, because you don't get a flat like, you said the right thing, so now this person likes you. It's like you did this and you did that and you said these things, and those have very deep-seated influences like for how other people think about you. Yeah, like it changes how they think about you on a fundamental level, and the options that you get and everything. And there's a certain amount of scope that has to be limited there. But different characters have drastically different opinions of you for major decisions and not so much for smaller ones. And then you can even get very granular things, like they will know that you like video games and other ones don't, or something like that. And like, it's all carefully built, so I'm sure if you do like 3 playthroughs, you can see the strings, but it feels very interesting and interactive at a base level. It's also very funny that like there's a certain amount of stuff that your character has through each playthrough just to keep the story going, basically. Like, you're always related to your cousin. You have to be blood related to that person on one side of your family. There's no arguing with that, and you have to like go to the town. You get very lightly railroaded. And I think one of them is funny is you can like choose to be like a streamer. And I played that game while I was streaming, and you're like a homeless streamer who streams out of PC bangs until you get kicked out. And
That's
then like
really
you
funny.
show up, and the kind of primary companion that you get, Stella, is also a YouTuber, and she's like a cryptid urbex YouTuber who just makes complete and total nonsense. And so she'll really have something in common with you if you mention that you're a streamer. And also she has a pug named Gretchen. And if you have the talk to animals trait like I do, you find out that she talks like a little Southern belle, and she will fly into a rage if anyone tries to mess with her Stella. It's
That's
so
so
good.
good.
That game's so good. That's the game that's the most like laser targeted at my interests. Because there's also like local folklore, cryptid stuff that plays a major part in the story.
That's really fun. I love that. Yeah, I should. You know what, Lotus? I
You
should
should
play that
go.
game. I should play that game. I should
You
give it a
should play that
shot.
game. Anyone should play that game. I think they'll eventually go through a price hike once they
Yeah.
get to their final episode.
Once we
So
get to the final, I'll get
buy
it.
low, sell high, fellas.
Buy low, sell high.
It's worth it either way, but buy low, sell high.
Buy low, sell high. Okay, I've got. Oh man, y'all are so tired of me talking about some of this shit. I bet. I'm gonna like go into a different game. Okay, but I will say I think I think this is like the third or fourth week in a row I've brought this game up. I will say when I was younger, like when my parents started leaving me home alone, I got really into opening the drawers in our house and trying to understand them on a deeper level than I understood my parents. Like, what are the notes you've left for yourself? What artifacts do you keep? What are the things that you have hidden away? And to be honest, folks, like when Shenmue came out, and the basis of that game is your dad's dead, and you actually don't really know or understand him in the way you thought you did. There was this thing where I was like, oh, this is maybe not a universal thing that happens to people, but it did speak to me on a very fundamental level that I felt very seen of like, how do you explore your physical space and get to know the people around you in a way that they are not allowing you to know through action or communication or whatever? And so sometimes people are like, God, John, why do you like that game so much? There are things like that in it that I think speak to me on a very fundamental level. And so when that game came out and Ryu was like doing his little fucking exploration missions looking for secrets in the drawers and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, brother. Like I get that. That's cool. Yeah. Now my dad wasn't murdered by a random guy that came to my house. But like, it's like I'm basically Ryu Hazuki is what I'm saying. Maybe my funnier answer is that there's a wrestling game called Fire Pro World. Really any of the Fire Pro games. They are highly, highly, highly customizable wrestling simulation games that are crucially, and this is so important, fucking miserable to actually play. They're not fun at all. Like they suck. Like they are not fun. The controls don't make sense. The entire thing. But you know what they are good at? Fucking simming that shit. You put the computer against the computer and you watch that shit roll like they're fucking Beyblades. And that's what I want. That's all I care about. And so they made a game that gives me no sort of pressure to even want to go and play it myself because it sucks. But the thing that they're good at is the thing that I care about. So I'm really glad that that game exists.
There you go.
There you go. Funk asks, what would you say this game is as misunderstood as Starship Troopers about? Now, folks, I swear to God, I'm not going to say Shenmue. I'm going to come up with a different answer. Okay.
You could say it again though, because I think
I could.
With Starship Troopers, you're talking about the narrative being satire, which is misunderstood.
Yes.
And I don't think most games are even intelligent enough with their narrative to attempt satire, so it doesn't totally... Like, because you see Starship Troopers and you immediately go, oh, Helldivers 2. And then you go, well, no, because shooting the bugs is fun. So, like, what is there to misunderstand when you're playing the satire straight? Also, satire is, of course, the lowest form of comedy and storytelling. So what is misunderstood has to be like a much deeper like question. I mean, I feel like one of the easiest ones to say is Dark Souls in
Yeah.
terms of the get good thing being completely meaningless and in many
Yeah.
ways against. I'm not as generous as other people are when they talk about like the story and narrative of Dark Souls, but at the very least, mechanically, I don't think that like get good or obsessing over the difficulty of those games or thinking of those games as the most difficult things on the planet really meshes with any of the design ethos of the first game in particular, but also the other ones.
I think that's a good answer. I think that's a really good answer.
But
I kind of
Shenmue,
shouldn't like listen.
you could
I'm over here like racking my brain, going like I am going to come up with a better answer or a different answer, and I'm kind of like, oh
just put those
boy,
little quotation marks. Just repeat exactly what you said for the previous one.
yeah, I know, right? I mean, I do think, in many ways, that game was designed to be one of the most friction heavy games for as many people as possible. That like I don't think a game has been I don't think money has been put into a game that way that was meant to be almost the worst kind of friction for most players. Like I am deeply impressed by that. I mean that entirely.
Oh yeah.
I think that's incredible. So there is something about that I think that is true. Um, my other answer is actually Yu Suzuki related, so that's not really a huge surprise. I think some people think Virtua Fighter is boring, and okay, maybe this it's not a boomer take, but like I think people who think Virtua Fighter boring are like dumb.
I don't have a super. This game is boring.
Yeah, I don't. I'm like I think you're kind of I like do you know how to entertain yourself? Like I'm always like well, like do you need like a card like when card keys jingle and you're like what's that? Ooh, that's how I feel about Virtua Fighter. I don't think people understand Virtua Fighter at all. Now it has nothing to do with Starship Troopers. Like I don't think there's like a misinterpretation of that game. It's very straightforward, but I think it's one of those games. And again, it's Yu Suzuki related. The man is just a brain genius. Crucially, don't ask me about anything he's done since the first Shinmu. Okay, like it's so important that you don't bring up any of that stuff or ask me about any of that stuff. It's not important. But I think he was on a run from like 1993 to like 2001 where like Yu Suzuki specifically was making games that again were pretty popular, I will say, but also in the grand scheme of things have aged out of relevance in a way that makes me feel crazy because I think I think he was on a string there again in the early 90s to early 2000s where he was just making some of the most interesting art in the medium. So that's what I would say. Cam asks, what's your favorite game you made sure to have downloaded for a trip only to fall asleep or watch a movie instead? Cam, my friend, that's all of them. I've done
I
this
was gonna
so
say I
many
don't even
times.
pretend. I don't even pretend because I'm the person who falls asleep or just stares out the window listening to music the whole time.
I just I will do that so often where I mean I brought my Steam Deck on this Thanksgiving trip and like I brought my gaming laptop on this Steam on this Thanksgiving trip. And then like all I did was move some stuff to one place and then move it back. I didn't play a damn thing when I was there. So I do that a lot. But what's my favorite game that I've done that for? I mean, I got a wild hair that I was going to replay Majora's Mask like a year ago, and I put it on my Switch, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to play this on the plane. And then I did not do that. I think I
No.
listened to music and kind of zoned out. So, yeah. That's all of them, pretty much. Beard Dragon asks, what movie from the 90s that didn't get a licensed video game should get one in 2027?
Trying to think of one that did not get a licensed film off the top of my head is very difficult. Because I
It's
also
really hard.
wasn't watching a lot of movies at the time.
Yeah.
On account of not being there.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. I will say I'm going to give it to a movie
some DreamWorks movie.
I'm going to give it to a movie that I talked about already on a different podcast this past week, and you probably haven't. I don't know if you. No, the episode's out. It's the 1993 rollerblading movie Airborne. Okay, it is a teen drama comedy starring a guy who moves from California to Cincinnati. He's distraught that there is no surfing, so he brings his rollerblades and it basically becomes like the footloose of rollerblading in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I think it'd be sick to do all the rollerblading stuff in this game. They do roller hockey. They do like street tricks. They do a street race at the end of the movie. I think it'd be sick to be able to like do all that stuff in Cincinnati. And like you could get the voice actors back. You could get Jack Black in one of his first roles. You get Seth Green. You get Alana Ubach, who played the assistant in the first season of Beekman's World. Like you can get all those people back. I don't think they're too busy for Airborne, the video game. The main character, this will be news that you can use, Lotus. In fact, after the show, I'm gonna try to dox him for you so you can go find him.
Yeah, okay.
He's a real estate agent in Galveston.
Okay.
So.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump, you know? Yeah, so I think that's my answer.
I don't know shit that doesn't certainly have a licensed game, like Mulan or something. But Mulan's the only one I can think of that might not, but I'm sure it does just
they
because
do.
I think that they all did.
One.
Yeah.
I think it has a PS1 game.
So I don't know.
Mulan game. Let's see. Mulan.
Many of the
game.
90s films I watch are Disney films. So
yeah, I was.
I mean, there's the Addams Family movies, but I think they both have them also.
There is okay. So Disney's Mulan was a game. Oh my god, that's crazy. Why does that feel so insane to me? Wow. Okay. Okay, all right. Yeah, so there was only one. It appears that there was only one video game that was Mulan. Okay, and it came out for the Game Boy, just plain old Game Boy in 1998. Why does that feel so impossible to me?
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, it just
that it's such a kind of like not low tier, but like just a Game Boy game when the Game Boy Color came out, like not around that time.
Came out literally 2 days after. It came out literally 2 days after, which is wild. So I guess that's my point, is that I was like, wow, that had to be at the very fucking end of that cycle, and it was.
Make them another one. There you go. Make them a good one this time.
Make them a good Mulan. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Taylor asking, is egg orb?
No.
That's egg.
That's egg.
That's egg. It's different. Blackjack Attack asks, when does Christmas/holiday season start for you?
Probably whenever we get like the first cold front in November.
Yeah, for me it's very Thanksgiving centric. There's usually a moment about
Yeah.
a day and a half after Thanksgiving where I hear a song or there's a chill in the air or there's a smell and I go, it's Christmas time.
Equipment, yeah.
It's Christmas. So that's usually when it happens. Jason asks, you can choose to never again hear people complain about difficulty in games, but you will hear more people complain about yellow paint forever. So do you do it?
No. Yellow paint is such a, even comparatively, such a moronic conversation from every
Yeah.
angle. There is never anyone with any legitimate intent or anyone who has ever sincerely deeply thought about video games who's going to argue about yellow paint. Whereas I think difficulty is an actual conversation. Sometimes.
Um, I mean, actually, I think conversations about difficulty can be kind of interesting. I don't think most conversations about yellow paint are that interesting.
Yeah. That's what it boils down to
Yeah.
for me. Yellow paint is just unilateral, like, oh, you noticed something? Oh, you noticed the thing the game is designed for you to notice? Aren't you a special little boy? Now you get a complaint on Reddit.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yep. I am Hydrogen asks, is there a side dish that always gets forgotten to be served on Thanksgiving or Christmas? We make a cranberry jello stuff that only one person liked and we always forget to serve it. Well, if only one person liked it,
Oh,
it doesn't seem like you're forgetting to serve it. It feels like you're making a
yeah.
deliberate choice not to serve it because only
I've
one person liked it,
also,
which I think is okay. Like
any
if only
home
one
I've been
person
in
likes a thing.
Any home I've been in has always done Thanksgiving buffet style, so you can't forget to serve
Interesting.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like because the kitchen becomes such a war zone when you need to do Thanksgiving, like it just every surface is covered. It's just kind of like, okay, we're gonna leave everything in the foil, and there's a spoon, get your plate, and like get your stuff.
Yeah.
It's never that someone
Yeah.
goes around or that you put a bunch of stuff in the middle of a table. Also, because anytime I do this, it's usually a large enough gathering that not even a half or a third of the people can fit at one table. So it's just like get
Yeah.
your food and then find somewhere to sit.
Um, I think like a corn dish around Thanksgiving gets forgotten often. There'll be times where I'll go to an event and I always kind of think like, yeah, corn kind of slaps for like a
Yeah, that's
like a
sad. I
holiday
love
thing.
corn.
Like a corn, like either just like fresh corn or a good cornbread or a corn pudding or like something that is like just really kind of nourishing and focuses on corn. I think corn's like a really solid November harvest dish kind of thing, and I do feel like that gets forgotten. Um, if you do forget to give me the Ocean Spray cranberry sauce in a can, I will be going to the store and getting my own can because I do love that shit so much. I love it. You can put on airs. You can go, no, 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 that's disgusting. I don't like to look at can indentations on my cranberry sauce. Whatever. Whatever. That shit is delicious. It tastes wonderful. If you serve me some real cranberry sauce, I'm not gonna go like, ugh. I'm gonna eat it. I like that stuff. But you have to have the canned stuff too.
You gotta have a can.
I love the canned shit. It's so good. Blackjack Attack asking, I started Batin Katos today. It's a good game. Weird game. Good game. I love that enemies will take damage from throwing unripe, bad food at them. What food, if thrown at you, would deal the most psychic damage?
Psychic damage. Wait, so
Yeah.
does it have to be unripe or bad, or are we just talking
I think we're
flat?
just talking food, I think.
I mean, if it's psychic, because then we're not talking about like something that's boiling.
No, yeah, no. We're not throwing boiling water or
Yeah, so something
coffee
I
at
would just be
someone.
like, oh God, this is all over me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, gross. Yeah.
I mean, like a brown gravy would be pretty tough, I
That'd
think,
be
because
pretty tough.
it looks like sick.
It
And I'd
does
be
look like
very
sick.
upset.
It does look
It's
like
wet
sick.
and it's chunky and it's all over me. Like if I got like a turkey thrown at me, that'd be upsetting. But a paper towel and some Lysol and like I'm fine.
Yeah.
But a gravy, not only do I need to wash my clothes, I need to shower
Yep.
a couple times.
Yeah. I'll say like a rotten lime if that's thrown at me, because like rotten citrus
That would
smells
just hurt you.
so bad. It smells so bad, and the gross little yeah, thinking about it now, it's not good. Yeah, that would be upsetting. The gravy thing, I agree with Lotus on that. I think like a
Is that it's
gravy would
wet and
be
chunky.
a gravy would be upsetting to
Yeah.
have
More
thrown at
upsetting
me.
than like a bolognese. Because that's
Yeah,
like, I don't know, something about it. I'm like, oh, it's a bolognese. That's gross. But,
yeah,
I
yeah,
just smell
yeah,
like
yeah.
tomatoes now.
Sure, yeah. Jason asking, do you have a video game opinion that you know is both crazy and wrong, but you still hold to it? Again, I can't stress this enough, folks.
I've never thought I was wrong.
Lotus and I don't think we're wrong about much, ever. Um, I think that's why we get along. We just like we know we're like
Just
no,
trading insane opinions.
we just have the courage of our convictions, and it's like it's one of the only things we have. So,
Yeah.
okay, I know there are things I think that are crazy, but yours is I think that Lord of the Rings: The Third Age is both better than FF10, which it clearly copies, and every other Lord of the Rings game. Here's the thing, Jason. I don't think that's that crazy. Listen, okay, wait, hold on.
You got to
Let
get
me
pretty
wind up a
crazy to
second.
be crazy, you know?
I do think it's probably better than most Lord of the Rings games. Like maybe Shadow of Mordor, like maybe like that game is really good, but like it's pretty good. It's a pretty good game. Better than FF10. Can't go there with you, but like I don't think this is the craziest thing I've read.
Yeah, even, I think my most contentious opinion overall maybe is that I do think that Breath of the Wild looks and feels like a tech demo, but I don't
Damn.
even think that that's that crazy. Like, look at it, feel it, feel it when there's water in the game moving.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
people will say I'm wrong and people will say I'm crazy, so I think that fits the bill. But I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
I very sincerely believe it, and I don't think it's crazy. I think y'all got
Yeah.
low standards whenever Nintendo is in the room,
Yeah.
even though they can do more. They can always
Yeah.
do more.
Yeah. I mean, I think your average indie platformer from the past 2 years is about 1,000 times better than Banjo Kazooie. Like fucking throw a dart at a dartboard with any 3D platformer that some plucky indie has made. It's better than Banjo Kazooie.
I think what really fucks it up is the music,
Uh-huh.
because I don't think the music is ever better
The music is ever better like that
than
than
Banjo
Banjo
Kazooie.
Kazooie. Well, the music is great in Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah,
It's wonderful. But
I mean that's where people get lost.
that game sucks ass.
It has a lot
That
of
game is
problems.
really bad. That game is really bad. It is aged horribly. It is aged like there's a genre of people who are like, oh God, yeah, Nintendo 64, the golden era of platformers. It's got one good one on it, and it was the first one that was made. Like Nintendo doing fucking victory laps around everyone else for an entire console generation? Are you fucking kidding me? That's the only game of that genre, that of that ilk that actually even remotely holds up. And I would even argue that now Super Mario 64 is starting to not hold up super well. But Banjo-Kazooie's shelf life was like a fucking cup of coffee before that game felt like garbage. So that's I don't think I'm wrong about it, but I do think a lot of people would think I'm crazy for saying that.
Yeah, you need to have crazy opinions. You need to have conviction about them. That's the only
Yeah.
way that gaming is any fun.
Yeah, that's the only way. Blackjack Attack asking, what movie have you owned the most physical and digital copies of in your life?
That's a good question. Unfortunately, I can't. I come from a family that was really flippant with the Walmart Blu-ray bin when I
Awesome.
was younger, and so like I don't have a lot of movies myself. I go shopping at my dad's collection of movies, and I'm just like, well, he's not
That's
using this,
awesome.
so.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Unfortunately, the answer is almost certainly Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I believe we have
You know
like
what?
5 copies. Because the other thing is buying newer editions as they came out, and then also both my mom and dad liking Harry Potter, and then
Yeah.
not always remembering which ones we do and don't have, and
Right.
then randomly getting them as gifts sometimes. I don't
Yeah.
even want to think about how many versions of Prisoner of Azkaban we have.
And you know what, folks, you didn't need this next part. So like if you're gonna be upset by it, just know that I am growing and learning, and I'm sorry, and I'll release a notes app apology and whatever. It is the best one of those movies.
Oh, are you kidding me? Unfortunate. Capital
Unfortunately,
U.
it is.
Unfortunately, that movie is straight up really fucking good. It's an
It's really
excellent
good.
film.
It's a really good movie.
I would go to the first 3 or 4. Those books
Yeah.
are ass and dog shit. And a lot of the
Yes.
ass and dog shit from those books does leak
Mm-hmm.
into the films, especially the last
Mm-hmm.
3.
Mm-hmm.
But the movies do a pretty decent job at taking the only things that are interesting, which is
Mm-hmm.
why you should either pirate them or watch them on, what is it,
Mm-hmm.
ABC? Like, if you're
Mm-hmm.
interested, you can watch them for free. And it's real easy. Don't worry about it.
Hey, folks, sorry. Azkaban's a pretty good movie. That's a good
That's
movie.
a good fucking movie.
I-
One of my favorite werewolves in anything.
great
Like, the
werewolves.
visually, I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just, it's like they did a good job with that movie. They did. It's got like a decent like time heist kind of
Yeah.
gimmick at the end. It's
And I
really
had
fun.
the biggest crush on Emma Watson specifically in that movie as a kid.
Sure. Oh, sure. I
It
can see
Wanna
that.
Be Her, also the biggest
Sure.
crush on her.
Yeah.
Couldn't be better.
Yeah. No.
Anyways,
Sorry. Wow. Hey, folks, do you have that on your bingo card this week? Us going, wow, this Harry Potter movie was pretty good.
no, fuck
You
her.
don't
She's going to
need-
hell. You don't
you
need it.
don't
But just
need
as an
it.
aside.
And you also don't like you don't need us to reiterate to you
No.
that J.K. Rowling fucking stinks. Okay, we get that. Fucking dirt worst. Don't give her a dime ever. Oh, I didn't answer the question. Mine is probably It's Clueless.
Really?
Yeah, I have 2 DVD copies of that movie. There's like a special edition and then a regular edition. And then I've purchased it on Amazon, and it's on a streaming service right now. That doesn't really count, but I am paying for the streaming service. So,
You know.
yeah, I quote unquote own 4 copies of that movie. Let's call it that. One of the best films ever made, in my opinion. Yeah, there you go. Vash asks, who's your least favorite party member in a video game?
I don't play too many party-based games.
Yeah.
I mean, the recent memory is I really don't like Agumon in Digimon Storytime Stranger. I wish I just had another guy in
Yeah.
that slot, but instead it's him because he's a permanent party member.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, permanent party member, whoever it is the option.
Yeah. Penelo from Final Fantasy 12. What a fucking wet fart of a character she was.
But I love her outfit.
It's a great outfit. Great outfit.
It's Final Fantasy. That's all I need.
Yeah, it's a great outfit, but it's like she and Vaughn both were pretty much like, they're the plucky urchin kids. It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? Zell dinked Mr. Hot Dog Man himself, the dull-eyed
Oh,
hot dog
yeah.
man. Not a fan of his.
Not a
Not
fan.
a fan of his. Not a fan. I kind of wanted Cypher to like actually cut him down at every point in that game. Yeah, I don't know. Some of them just don't. Blackjack Attack asks, if you had to play and win a game against death to keep living, what game would you pick?
This is so easy. Official 1v1 League of Legends rules, and I can beat him until he kills himself. I can't beat him forever, but if I'm making him 1v1 me in League of Legends, I can win until he kills himself. I can win until he forfeits. I promise.
That's really good. My answer might be a little bit surprising. It is ESPN NHL Hockey 2K4 technically.
You know the secrets?
I don't think from 2004 to 2005 when I played that game, almost every night was my roommate Aria, who actually played hockey IRL and played a lot of video games. I don't think I lost a single match.
Wow.
And a group of people he started bellowing and hooting and hollering when after 2 periods one night he was up like 3 goals, and he like hooted and hollered so much that like the RA and some other people like came to our room to watch the rest of the game, and I ended up coming back and beating him.
That's so evil.
Which was super evil. So I think for whatever reason I was just really fucking good at that game.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
was good at like Halo as a kid, but if we're talking about Death, I think he smoked me, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I think Death would be really good at Halo 2 FFA.
Death's like, I invented guns. Like, what do you think? Who do you think made these?
He might have invented League of Legends too, but that doesn't mean that he plays it.
Valerie B asking, y'all ever try meditating?
No. No. I like an ASMR to go to bed. I have horrible insomnia and anxiety, so they're good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like guided meditation type things, but I don't actually do the meditation. I just listen to them. Like I'm not
That
actually
makes sense.
doing the point. I mean, I guess maybe like the deep breathing at the
Yeah.
the beginning that they have you do, but then it's not really meditating. So maybe half credit.
Yeah, I've tried meditating. I'm not very good at it. I'm really, really bad at kind of relaxing and emptying my mind. I'm like really bad at that. I just like, if someone's like, go ahead,
Who
and
could
just like
fuck?
focus on your breathing and don't think about. I'm like, dog, I got like 15 things on my mind. Like it's really hard to just shuffle through all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good for me, but I think I'm bad at it so far. So yeah. And we're rounding out with Jason asking, will GTA 6 save the games industry? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. No, I mean, this is obviously a joke question, but but no, it won't. In fact, that game's never coming out. I'm just kidding.
You
I'm
heard
kidding.
it here first, folks.
I'm kidding. That one's going to come out, but I don't know. I saw someone post, there's like, what if the game's actually kind of bad? And I do believe still, I think just in my gut, that like it's too big for it to be bad in the conventional sense. It's going to be bad in the sense that like I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about it that's not going to be very interesting, but it's going to do all the
but I
stuff
think
that
it's
it's
going
good
to do
at.
all the stuff.
Yeah. The cars are going to be fun to drive, and it's going to be funny to like fuck with the random citizens
Sure.
and yada,
Yeah.
yada, yada. I think all that
Yeah.
stuff is going to be good.
I think that all that stuff is going to be fine. So it's not going to save the games industry though. Nothing. And in fact, nothing will save the games industry.
No.
Absolutely nothing. Thanks for asking all these wonderful questions. We answered all of them this week. Wow. Go to vgbs.com/join the hive, please. It's the only way you can support us because we don't do ads. And then go to discord.gg/vgbs, join our free Discord. And then if you've joined the hive, that section will open up to you and you can ask us a question each and every week. We have no new reviews this week. I just looked. If you want to leave us a 5-star review, that does help us out a lot. And if you write a review that goes along with it, I'll read it on the air, which is just a whole lot of fun. So do that. Please tell your friends. They can leave a review and I'll read it on the air. Brule, let's get out of here.
Let's skedaddle.
Let's skedaddle. Lotus, do you have anything to plug or anything?
Go Boston. That's
Go,
it.
go
Boston.
Boston. Yeah, I don't really have anything to plug either, except I think everyone should have a wonderful week coming up. We'll see you again next week for another episode of the VGB's podcast. I'm John Warren. That was Lotus. Until next time, sorry my camera broke, but keep on buzzing.